I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yo.
And you took it back with that. I was in this joint grooving, brother.
He was feeling it.
What, man?
But DG out here doing his thing on the ones and twos.
Appreciate it.
Bro,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I was
As
in.
always.
Let me clear
Had,
my throat.
had me in here dancing like I was on the wood or something, you know?
Oh, boy. Go, Rome. Go, Rome.
Dance fever, huh?
Dance
Dance.
fever. You
Dance.
like that? You like that? You think I'm sexy?
Yo, you are Hollywood, bro. Dance fever, huh? Hey, bro, man. If I feel like The Wood is one of the movies you had to see, man. If you ain't watch it, then we something wrong with you. It's a
That's a
classic.
fact. That's a
It's a
But
classic.
classic
what's the
movie, man.
bad part about it? The mom just let him do them dumb dances. She
Just
didn't
let them
stop
do the
her.
dumb shit,
She
dog.
just said, "Oh my God, you so cute, just like a black mom." Like, tell me what I'm being dumb.
Ooh.
What up, y'all?
What's good?
We
What's good?
back. We back for another one, another top 10 players. This time we doing the NFC and AFC West. So, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals, and who the other? Oh, the Rams. That's right. The Rams. I forgot all about them niggas. Um, then you got your Chiefs, the
This shit's gonna be
Chargers,
disgusting.
the Chargers, the
Who was doing
Broncos,
that evil laugh?
me.
DG? Oh,
Nah, I
I
was,
was
and
about
the
to say, what
Raiders.
the hell?
That's how you know it's gonna be disgusting.
Hey man, listen, I ain't got nothing against y'all. You know how I
You
feel
know,
about you.
Why?
You know how I feel
Why?
about
Why
y'all.
is that, Lou? Can I
I
ask why?
can't. I
Why is
can't
that?
wait. Nah. Don't ask him.
Oh,
I
my
can't
fault.
wait to whoop their ass this year.
Hey,
Pull
because
up to the city, man.
unlike some of these other teams, in the NFL, them niggas don't scare us.
Yeah, pull up to the city, nigga. We whooping y'all ass
Hey,
this
if
year. I
it
don't
wasn't
care if
around
we win
Thanksgiving time, I would,
not a
man.
near another game. We beating the Colts this year.
Hey, if it wasn't around Thanksgiving time, I definitely would pull up to the city, man. But that's the down part, man. When that schedule came out and I thought the 49ers game was right before Christmas, then the Chiefs game was right before Thanksgiving. I was like, oh hell no.
did us dirty.
They did
Did
us
us
dirty.
dirty, man.
And
Yeah,
they
they
knew
did.
we was plotting for them games too. They knew we
Knew
was
he
plotting.
was.
But
Did
it's
it.
okay. God didn't want me to lose my voice again. Cheering for us beating them bum ass Chiefs this time in their
Nah,
house.
he didn't want to. He didn't want you to witness a massacre. That's what it was.
Anyway, what's up, y'all? We're gonna start bringing people up here. We running a tight schedule today. We out of here in 2 hours. So y'all better say what y'all got to say because we getting up out of here.
Hey,
Bring
Why you
Dialogue.
laughing? Why you laughing, DG? We can't
Cause
be on a tight schedule.
I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be fake paying attention.
you gonna be fake. You gonna be fake paying attention until
Into
till somebody say something about Patrick Mahomes being
Yeah.
low on
Then
their
I. Then
list.
I. Then I come back.
Y'all just please make sure y'all got y'all list when y'all come up on stage. Drop the
for
list.
sure,
If
for
you don't
sure.
want a mic, drop the list in the community or drop the list on under the post. We'll make sure we post it to the jumbotron. What's up, y'all? My bad. I ain't feeling too good tonight, but
And
it's
we
all
we
good.
live on
Yeah.
playback. We live on YouTube.
YouTube for sure.
Yeah,
Make
so
sure y'all
we
tap in.
we on all the spots.
Drop the
Yeah.
list in the community.
Yeah. Yeah. Drop the list.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
drop
saying? And
y'all
we're
list in
gonna
the
drop our
community.
list. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna drop
Who
our
we
list.
Here
What
starting
we
up?
off
go.
with? We starting with NFC or AFC?
Um.
Flip a coin,
Yeah.
actually.
Flip a coin.
All right, hold on. I got a coin right here.
Mm.
No, heads is
What up,
NFC,
Mariah
tails is
Pacified? We see
AFC.
y'all in the building. What up, Portland,
Wait,
LA,
what did you?
K,
Wait, whoa! What did you call her?
Nacho, Ace, Peter.
What did
What
you
up,
call her?
Simba,
All right,
Jalen?
we got heads. We starting with the NFC.
Share this.
Appreciate y'all. We see all of y'all in
Share
the
the
building.
space with y'all peoples. Make sure you join the YouTube and the playback is in the jumbotron. If you are not in either, make sure you join both. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
share the space. Get your folks up in this joint. This NFC and AFC West. I mean, they all right.
I
You know what
mean,
I'm saying? But make sure
We
they in the
start. We
building.
starting with the NFC West.
you
Where
know what I'm
Miles
saying?
at? Because I got to get. We got to get
Editing
Miles up in
Robin.
here.
Yeah, you know what?
Because
I'm gonna send it to
it
him. You know, I'm
it
gonna
ain't
send it to
nothing
him.
like a good old Miles and Young Heavy argument.
See,
Oh, brother.
see. That be trying to get me started, man. You know, I try to change my life, man. Try to change my life, man. Stop arguing with people all the darn time. Trying to do better this year.
Hollywood, you got your own list since you like to go against the soil.
What?
Yeah, yeah, I said it.
When did she ever win
Me?
against
You had your own list the last time.
God, that was a fake list. Hello, that was off the top of the
you? The
head. You
one
know what I'm
like
That
saying?
was like
arguing.
a little fake list. It was like three
Yeah.
people. My
Oh, I
bad,
know
man.
you're
My
not
bad.
talking
My bad.
misconsensus.
Nah,
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
consistent on this one. I was trying to tell that it's okay, cool. It's fine.
No, I
Y'all
don't.
will see
Why
y'all
do I
list
have
once
to
we
go
drop
first?
it.
Why won't you go first with your list?
I'm with the consensus.
No, now you with the consensus.
Oh, shut up, DG. You
Yeah,
know
let's
I ain't
talk
with the
about how you
consensus.
didn't
I
want to
ain't with
put
your
Fred
consensus.
Warner
You know I
at
ain't
the
with
top
I
your
of the
don't care
list.
if
consensus,
you with my
Negro.
consensus.
No, but it's all good. Hey, Spodioti, what up, Spodioti? CJ, what's up, my brother?
Oh,
I
that
see
list
you
is
on the
nasty,
stage.
Sporty. Hello.
What's
Hey,
happening?
Spody.
What's happening?
Hey,
You
Spody.
know, doing
I
the
seen
day.
you dropping some list the other day. I was about to say my girl, my boy. And
Oh
if I
my
had said
god.
it, she would have said
Why
something
can't you say
different.
my girl?
Because she don't
But
like when I
boy, we
say
don't give
that.
a fuck what Sporty like at this point. I ain't gonna lie
Nah, I'm
to you. No,
respectful. I'm respectful, big bro. You
Bitches.
know what I'm
I like bitches.
saying?
What's
Oh
up,
my
though,
you
AB?
call me
God.
a
What's happening?
bitch.
What's happening? I said I like bitches.
Oh, I thought you
What's
said a bitch. I'm
happening?
gonna say,
Why would
whoa,
I call
really?
you a
Hello?
bitch? Like what? Hello?
Listen, I
Hey,
don't
hey,
What
know.
up,
I
Big
know
yo.
you was
Cortland?
getting a little beside
It's too
yourself
early.
Hollywood said,
now.
It's
what
too
you
early
say?
for your shit. It's too
You know
early
what
for
I'm
your shit.
Hey,
saying?
yo.
We just got here.
Yo,
Hey, yo,
What up,
list
We ain't gonna
single
ready.
let you down, Call of
generational
Duty
hater in the
now. You know what I'm
building? You know
Hey,
saying?
what I'm
Spody, I
saying?
saw I saw a couple of your lists go up. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for dropping them under the post. You know what I'm saying? A couple deletes and reposts. I appreciate you. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
Yeah, you know what? I forgot about a lot of the Denver Broncos roster last year and the way that
Woo!
that defense played as it pertained to the AFC.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, Spody, you have your list available. What up, Cortland?
Yeah, it's in the jumbo.
Dylan.
What's
My
up,
list
y'all?
is, I
What's up,
think my
Short
list
Stack
the
and Dark?
first one
Yeah,
up there.
Sporty list is in the
yeah, Spody
Oh,
jumbotron.
Spody
looking
in
at
the jumbo
Jumbo. Yeah,
already? Look at
yep.
Spody.
Cortland
Let
and
me see.
Dylon list is in the
Spody,
jumbotron.
Cortland, and Dylan. Yep.
That's crazy how everybody got Fred Warner as number one, but
I
somebody,
mean,
and somebody, hold on, have somebody in our little circle, was pushing back on Fred Warner. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
DG.
yeah. Dang, that's
Huh?
crazy.
Yeah, it said Fred Warner wasn't that good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody he
I
missed
know you're
tackles and
Whoa,
shit.
who
Like
said
Miss
I
that?
don't.
But
Miss
see,
49er hater.
Let me
you
see
know what
who
I
else
mean?
I
But
got
don't
see,
Fred
know.
all
I
Warner.
mean,
these,
No,
he
Cortland,
was
you
the
a
best
traitor.
player in the
but
NFC
see, look at
West.
all these lovely
Did he
people.
miss some tackles?
What?
So,
All these
That man
lovely
was the
people had Fred Warner number one. See,
All right,
y'all
so
know
and
we
he was
something.
starting. We
playing on like a
starting. We
fracture.
start
Wasn't he playing
NFC.
on like
All
a
right.
Liz Francis like all this
Yeah,
whole year?
he had a fractured ankle. Nothing too crazy.
Who had a fractured ankle?
Fred Warner did.
Fred Warner.
I could
He was
tell.
getting
Man,
he was getting injections
that
like
nigga just
every
want to
Oh,
week.
be
I could
Shaq
tell.
Leonard. That's crazy.
so here's my thing, though. Here's my thing, right? And I just want to say this. Anybody who can obtain all pro and best status at their position on a fractured ankle deserves to be number one, in my
I
opinion.
I'm just
mean,
saying. I'm just
Oh
saying,
shout out
God.
to
Spo.
AB.
I'm just saying, Spo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
Okay, can
all
yeah.
I
we
ask a question?
saying.
Can I? And look. Here's the thing. Let me just ask the room. When we look at this list, let's just all take a look at Spody's list. Natty Spody. Let's look at Spody's
Her
list,
list is
okay?
disgusting. I ain't gonna lie. After the first two,
Now, listen. Look at Spody's list. Y'all wouldn't put Cowan like at number one.
Hell no.
Kyron at number one. Nah, I'm not doing that.
No,
Kyron
Y'all ain't
Williams.
So
sliding him up to one because he
Kyron
he bald.
Williams.
You know what I'm
Kyron
saying?
Williams, the running back.
And had a hell of an impact. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
Wait,
why
the
you the
Giannis
only
wait
ain't
one
do
fighting
much
for?
last year.
How
wait,
come
Kyron
nobody
Williams, the
backing you
running
on
back
this
for the
Kyron
Rams,
Williams
is
shit?
number
You the
one.
only
so
one who
let me
saying it.
just yeah,
Nah.
I'ma just make this quick.
Ain't
You know,
nobody rolling for
A
this,
B on
man.
some bullshit right
No,
now. She
I'm
gotta
asking
be
a question.
gay.
I'm asking
Nobody's
a
rolling
question.
with this though. Like nobody agrees.
You know what it
I
is?
asked a question.
She just wished that Jerry and
Nobody in
them.
America is
So
putting
She just
so
wished
Kyron
that
Williams
Jerry and
over
them
Nobody's
Fred
went
gonna
back to
Warner.
say
the
that
Fred
though.
Warner.
hey, so real
Today.
quick, I just want to
Tyron
put
Williams
something
wasn't
out
better
there.
than George Kittle. It just
So
don't
when
sit right
you
with my spirit that 249ers are 1 and 2. Like, come on
so
now.
listen, AB, hear me out. When you look at my list, I need you to take something into consideration. This is for everybody, please. When you take into
I
consider
like
when you look at
Dylon
my
list.
list, My list is literally
Trent Williams.
based off the criteria that y'all
Thank you.
gave and the
Hey,
fact that the players had like all pros. My thing is, if you were considered the
Dylon
first
list
or
ass too.
second blessed player
What the hell?
in at your position across the league,
whoa.
then that tells me you're one of the best players in your division. And that for me, if there's no other all pros, then that's gonna weigh a lot more in where I place you on the list. So that's why Fred Warner's number one and Kyron Williams is actually not uh number one. He wasn't gonna be number one anyway. But yeah, I just can't I don't have no hate for it. I can't see Kyron at one, with the players that's in that division right now. But I got Fred Warner at one, George Kittle at two, JSN at three, Kyron Williams at four, Trey McBride at five, Leonard Williams at six, James Conner at seven, Nick Bosa at eight, Buda Baker at nine, and Kobe Turner at 10.
Hey,
I ain't gonna lie. I like Dylon's list as
no,
well.
no, Dylon's
Dylon
list. He
list
has
is
to. Dylon,
terrible. He didn't even come up
Dylon
here
got
with the
to.
No, it's
Hold
criteria.
up.
not.
Wait.
Yeah,
Well, also
yeah,
Dylon got to redo his list. Trent Williams didn't play enough games, and
no, he did. And
Sam
Puka
Darnold.
Puka
Puka
did.
Sam Darnold just got
Neither
there.
did Puka.
Whoa.
Sam Darnold.
And Sam
Well, it
Darnold just
counts.
got there.
Oh, I ain't see the whole list.
Man,
I ain't
who
see the
put
whole
up
list.
Dylon list knowing it was in good
I ain't see
Dylon
the
condition?
put
whole
up
list.
Hold up.
Dylon
Hold up.
list.
Who put that
Hold
up
up.
there?
Hold up.
Yeah,
Good
Puka
evening. Good
Nicole didn't
evening.
play enough games either game.
Hold up.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, I
First
think
Yeah,
and
Puka was
Trent
hurt.
foremost,
Trent
we're talking about.
But I'm not
Trent
mad. Hey,
Cooper didn't
look,
play enough
I'm not
games.
mad at Matt Stafford up there instead of the Kittle boy.
Matt Stafford,
Okay.
whatever. Okay.
Also for
That
number
kiddo
10,
boy be
it's
whooping
supposed to
y'all
be
ass. I see
Kyron
why he ain't.
Williams. I hate. Uh,
Who the hell is
Yeah, but you
Lars
got
Williams?
it's supposed to be Kyron Williams from the Rams. My
Hey,
bad.
Ashley,
but
Ashley's
but
so
it don't
mean.
matter.
Ashley's
hey,
so
bro,
mean.
redo your list, bro. You just
you
that
got to
whole
redo
No,
shit
that
Hey,
don't
fucked
go
do
ahead,
up.
that.
delete that. Delete that. Come back. Come back, bro.
You
Dylon
Lyron
got
just put
Williams
some
is
names
crazy.
down. He didn't even.
he just
No,
put
I
yeah,
know
he
who I
just put some
wanted.
shit.
Lyron Williams is insane.
I
Hey,
mean, Karen be lying. That shit
hold
crazy.
up now. Y'all's a rat.
Marvin
Lyron
Harrison.
Williams is
Hey,
What
wait,
the
insane.
hell,
Hey,
hold on,
Marvin?
hey.
You
Hollywood,
lying?
Now, come
Hollywood.
on now.
Hey, hey,
Hollywood.
Dylan, go ahead, delete
What's
that.
wrong
Delete
with
that,
my
bro. Hurry
list,
up. Hurry
gang?
up.
You
Hurry
was
up, bro.
hating on my
Hurry up.
list. What's wrong with my
I
Dylan,
list?
hate
hurry
on
up.
no
Hurry up.
list.
Hurry up, bro.
Okay,
Hurry
can
up.
Okay,
I
can
Dylan,
I
can
Hey,
I
stop
can
ask
we
a
get
talking.
one
can
mic?
I
question?
Can
ask
we
a
get one mic,
question?
y'all?
Dylan,
Can I
Okay,
delete
ask
hold on,
that,
Dylan a
bro.
hold
Stop
on,
question?
y'all.
talking. Hurry up.
One mic. I got a question. I see he has Marvin Harrison on his list.
And
Oh,
Bro,
that's
please
God.
and
tell
He
me
that's
should
y'all
not.
ain't bring
Dylan,
Mimi up
hurry
here,
up,
bro.
bro. I'm
Please
trying to
tell me
say
y'all
that's
didn't
something.
want to
Dylan,
not.
Okay,
bring
delete
Mimi
that.
on this
okay.
stage.
Today FC West. Then how about that?
Y'all
No,
don't
we
like.
doing the
Hold
Yeah,
on, hold on, hold
no.
on,
NFC
hold on. Wait,
West,
wait, wait, wait,
nigga.
wait.
You
Y'all
don't
don't like
come
Marvin
move.
Harrison on his list?
No, Marvin Harrison
What
No.
is
cannot
wrong?
be on
He
that
was
No.
list.
not top 10 in
He
that
is not a
division.
He
top
wasn't even
10
the best
player
player
in
on
that
his team,
Bro,
but
division.
he a
he
top
got to
5
redo that
player.
list, man. He got to redo his
That
list,
Dylan,
list
delete
bro.
that shit. Hurry up,
Dylan
bro. I'm
don't
No.
trying to
even look
save you,
up
gang.
popular names in that damn
Dylan,
division.
hurry
You're
up, bro. Why am
disgusting.
I
Hey, can
still
I
looking
say
at this?
something? Hold on. Can I say something? The only people you need to leave off is the people that ain't play Big Dylon. Trent got to come off, and so do Big Puka.
And
Now
so does Marvin
everybody
Harrison. He
else,
wasn't top
Marvin
10 in that
Harrison Jr.
division.
got
and
to come
All
Sam,
off.
right,
and
then.
Sam.
I'll
So
No,
if
replace.
hold
that's
on,
his
hold on.
preference
Marv
to have
don't.
Marvin Harrison, that's his
Marv don't have to
preference.
come off if he believes Marv was a
Marv
top
was
10.
shitty.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
say
what
that.
I'm
See,
If he
he
saying.
believes
ain't
Marv
gotta
was a
come
top
off.
Somebody
10
get
player,
Canada,
Nobody trying to hear that
Beyonce.
But
shit.
no.
listen, 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 listen,
If
Dylon,
he
listen.
believes Marv was a top 10 in the
Beyonce is
NFC
gonna be
West, he got
Bro,
to
ready
stop
leave.
that
for
lying.
Kenny.
Delete
Hold on,
that
y'all.
shit, bro.
One mic, one mic.
Okay.
Listen,
We need
I'm
one
just
mic
saying
for
in
sure.
Hey,
terms
drop
of
that little
injury,
Mimi chick. Who brought her up here?
Who?
Yeah, I
in
don't. I
Yeah,
terms
don't know who
drop
brought her up
Mimi,
there.
I'm talking
bro.
about
Please
Canada.
drop her, bro.
who's
Please.
Mimi?
You gonna make
A
more money.
troll, a fucking troll. Drop her,
Yeah,
Oh,
please.
yeah, I
sorry, Trigger
did.
Lump. They said I gotta
They
drop
Bye
her.
gone.
bye.
They gone.
Bye.
All
Anyway,
right,
so
Smurf.
listen,
Good holler.
check this out.
Okay.
Listen, Dylon, I'm only telling you those people because of injury. If you want to
Oh.
keep Marvin Harrison on there, then do your thing, brother. If you feel like he was a top
Man,
10 in
take
the
that nigga
division,
off the list, gang.
now
Okay then.
now
This
So
is
I
this.
could
we would like
This
to
is
know an explanation on why you have Marvin Harrison as a
now
top 10.
okay. So now I have him because of even though the first few games, the only problem is that he didn't get touches and his routes were just terrible. And of course he had Kyler Murray.
So how
Dylan,
is he a
this is
top
a
So
10
why
terrible
player
y'all
in
list.
the
keep
This is a
division?
why y'all
this is a
keep
So
bringing
terrible
how
Listen,
is
Kyler
list.
he a
it's
Murray?
top
not
10
Man,
gang?
stop
listen, he
embarrassing
was
Dylan.
supposed to
Stop
be
answering these people.
okay.
So let me ask you a question, Dylon. You
Yeah.
said he's a top 10 player, but
In
he
the
didn't really
division.
hold on, but he didn't
Yeah.
really do much. because he had Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense to me. I'm sorry. I'm confused.
So how did you get
How
that
did
the
he
rookie
make
was
top
top 10
ten?
without the
Well,
production?
it was between either him or uh, I was trying to remember the defensive end from for the Rams.
Can I hold on real quick, Dalon?
Yeah.
So he had 885 yards, 8 touchdowns. Now I've seen y'all put some people on lists that was worse than that. So you know what I'm saying, he
That's
was
so cap,
normal.
AB. If a
Who
nigga
did you
not
put
got a
on the who did
thousand
we put on
yards,
the
they
list
not
that's
making
worse
the
than
list
that? You
game.
got to
Like,
stop
come on,
doing
man.
this,
AB, he didn't
Mark. You
even
got to
put
stop doing that.
JSN on the list, and he was better than him. He
He
Yeah,
did
did.
put
like
JSN up
Who
there.
said
Nah,
Yeah,
he got him
JSN?
on there.
Oh, he got him
that's
on
who
Jack,
there.
he
okay,
Okay,
made
Jack
good, good,
Jumper.
before.
good.
You
so
you
Yeah,
so
throw the
yeah.
so
whole
so
name
who
out.
so who
You throw the
so
whole
who
name
made the
out.
list that did worse than Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Ash,
Huh? No,
huh?
I'm just saying
Who
I've
did it?
seen y'all put up
He
lists. I'm
he
not
got
saying I
JSN on
agree.
the list.
So give us
He
a
No,
got
I
I
player.
see
JSN
it,
on the list.
Give
nigga.
us a
I see it
player.
now. Go back on mute. That's all.
No, nigga.
Give us a player that did worse than him, and we had him on the list.
I'm just talking about it like
No, you making that up,
AB,
bro.
you're you're
You
not
making that
only do
up.
you lie,
all
you're
I'm
a bad
saying is
liar.
Ashley, stop
give
making
him a
stuff up.
all I'm saying is
Stop
give
doing
him a
this.
chance,
Dylon,
man.
stop entertaining these
If
people.
that
Delete
nigga
that list
wants
and come back,
Dylon on
bro.
his list, that nigga can have Dylon or
No, Dylon
Dylon,
have
needs
please take that
Dylon.
nigga off.
Dylon.
if
See,
he
see,
want
he,
if he
It is
want
I
Dylon.
mean, he
if he
got
want
live
Marvin
on there.
Harrison Jr. on his list, he can have
D-Ron,
that nigga on
stop
his
letting
list.
C.
he
Lou
can have
lie
him
Thank you,
on
on
you.
there.
I'm
Zero.
telling you the
He
Thank
truth.
got
you.
he
Take that
got
nigga
Miles
off.
Williams on there. I mean, he might as well put Dylon on the
Dylon, please
list.
take
Who the
him
hell
off
is
right
Miles
Live.
now.
Williams?
Stop listening to
You,
C.
I
Lou.
mean,
C.
he
Lou
can
gonna
keep
steer
him.
you
He can
wrong.
keep
Stop
him on
listening
the
to that nigga.
list. That list is terrible, though. I ain't gonna lie.
But
Dylon, just delete
Puka
them
and
shits.
Hey,
Trent
don't
got
let
to
Ross go up. Don't let Ross go up there.
Puka, Trent, and Sam got to come off that list though.
On that mind, he
Yeah,
already
because
up
they didn't
there.
play. That's why we tell people to read the criteria before you
Mm.
make these lists.
And who let people post these lists?
They posted their own list.
Man,
Because
well,
the,
Exactly.
delete them shits.
'cause the
Delete them shits when you
criteria
see
is
they
to
wrong.
play. They
Hey,
had to
stop
have
hating on my
impact.
list, gang.
They had to have
No,
impact
now you
production,
spoke.
and
Now
they
you
had to
spoke. Now
play
you
at
now you
Let me
least
look
spoke.
at
12
Trent
Mm.
Williams was
games.
Mm.
hurt as well, right?
No, CJ, what you mean not hurt?
You said what?
Wasn't
Yeah,
Trent
what's
hurt?
wrong with what's wrong with my list?
I
Yeah,
will
Trent
I
say,
was hurt.
said I
I
said
will
not
say this,
Spodies.
Spody. I will
I
say
said I
this,
wasn't talking
Spody.
about Spodies.
With your list, Spody, I think Leonard Williams should have been higher. I think you got JSN higher
That's
ahead of
who
him.
it was. Leonard
So
Williams.
okay,
Nah.
Yeah.
And
so
I don't see the Buddha Baker love, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
yeah, I don't see Buda
CJ,
Baker
what's on the
either.
other list? What's on
Portland
the
got
other
him on
list?
his list too.
niggas
Yeah,
saying on Buddha is
and I
crazy, but
also don't know why you got Nick Bosa on this list either.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh.
what?
yeah.
Did I go through my list? I don't think I went through my
No,
list.
it was my list. Ugh.
They said Nick Bosa was Mid Atlantic.
Dead man walking.
No.
That's wrong.
He had an okay year, but it
He
And
was
wasn't.
a
now he was
regular old
now he was
homie.
mid
That's
Michigan. That's
because
crazy.
y'all thinking about names. Y'all just pressing for them names.
Now he was mid section.
No, so
And I'm gonna tell you this.
actually,
Can I say this, Cody, real quick before you say that?
Mm.
yeah, go ahead. It's
All
your
them
space.
49ers you got on the list don't make the list, my boy.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Go to school.
My boy is crazy.
So no Fred Warner?
Oh, first
Ouch.
of all, wait, no Fred Warner, no George Kittle. Why are they not to be on this list?
Bro,
Please help
stop
me
listening to her
understand.
about
Stop
George Kittle,
listening to
then,
her
bro.
about
She's
George
hate.
Kittle and
She's a
Fred Warner. You know why she mad at George Kittle? Because George Kittle, she got PTSD from when we
George
seen.
Kittle's busting
So
that
I
ass,
wouldn't
wasn't he?
say
Man,
this.
Oh,
shut up,
I don't
CJ.
Was
heavy. I
busting
would
that
say
ass when
this.
he
I
played the
don't
boy.
disagree with you. I probably could have switched JSN and Leonard Williams for sure.
yeah.
Um, the thing. So the thing with Nick Bosa, I was
We coming to you next
not
quarter.
gonna front. I haven't watched a lot of the NFC West, so I was going more so off stats. And when I was looking at production from the defensive player, because at first I had hella offensive players, that's how I ended up with Nick Bosa because it wasn't a lot to choose from, in my opinion. And
Oh, that was
I
correct too.
probably could have put Braden Fist over Nick Bosa. I probably could have did that as well.
Okay.
Um, but those are the two players that I was looking at. For the ultimately for the defense for the list, I think I probably lean more towards Nick Bosa based off of just knowing him and not having much to go off of without really watching a lot of y'all teams this year. That's kind of where I was at with the whole Nick Bosa shit. But it was either him or Braden Fist for me.
Okay. Okay.
I have
You
honorable mentions, but I don't like to like clog the comments and shit. So I didn't do like the honorable mentions.
We'll
you can
throw those out there in a second. Let me get to Cortland. What up, Cortland? I see you dropped your list in there as well, brother.
Yeah. I kept it pretty simple. Fred Warner at one, best linebacker in the league. I felt like Leonard Williams. I think he quietly. I think because that Seattle team didn't have the general like team success that like on this everybody else on the list had. I think he got went under the radar. He had 11 sacks last year, which is great, very underrated. Matthew Stafford three, JSN at four. George Kittle at 5, Tyler Williams at 6. Trey McBride's going to get not going to get a lot of run, I feel like, but he's one of the best tight ends in the league last year. Julian Love's one of the best safeties in the league last year. Buda Baker off of impact alone, and then Braden Smith was also very good in that position.
How you don't put Jared Verse on there, Cortland? What's up?
Bro, y'all really
Just
trying
the
to claim
guys
this 4.5
because
sacks
the
this
guys
nigga
that
had,
the
bro?
guys because Braden and that wait was it Brady Smith? I kept a
Braden
couple of the
had
Rams
like
players
8 or 9 sacks, bro.
yeah, like Braden had like you went dumb so I mean it's a lot of those guys that went crazy, but Jared Verse only had like 4.5 sacks last. Like and as much as he had an impact, those
What
two
was he at on
interior guys.
pressures? Just I'm a
Yeah,
nitpick.
but I'm
I'm
just
a
saying the
nitpick.
two guys, the two guys on that defensive line are that were the better of like that made those guys' job them look better was actually Kobe Turner and Brady. So and I had to
Mm.
choose between the two. And I meant Braden Fisk. I don't think I meant Braden Fisk. I
Okay,
meant
okay.
Braden
Because I was
Fisk.
gonna say who's
I
Braden
was about to say,
Smith.
Yeah,
who the hell is Braden
Yeah,
Braden.
Fisk?
I meant Braden's Fisk. I didn't, and I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know why. I don't know why
Now
I put
listen,
You got the
put
you
his
got.
Braden
I
Fisk.
noticed
That's because you got the Colts on your mind, Cortland. I know.
also I noticed
I
that
think that's what it was because I was also writing. I think I was writing some on the AFC South at the time.
hey look, I noticed that you have even Dylon had Matthew Stafford at number 2 and then you got him at 3. Is he too high on their list for y'all? I mean,
In my opinion,
In my
yeah.
opinion, yeah, Stafford's a little high.
But I
Based
just
off
kind of look.
last year, that's too high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Based
But
off last year.
I kind of feel like we're going off the criteria, right? Which is impact and statistical output,
and
right? Not
skill
just
and
as
availability.
yeah, right. Which he was available, right? He was available, played 16 games, only missed one
He
game,
was
right?
available.
He went 10-6, 65%, almost
Made the
66% completion
playoffs.
rating, right? Made the playoffs, 363,762 yards, 20 touchdowns, not great touchdown production, right? But once he got to the playoffs, we saw that team, we saw him be able to turn it on. They pushed the Eagles to the brink. All right, like it took a last drive and like some explosive plays for them to get them boys up out of there. So his impact was felt. So like I think you have to give him some credit, like for that team being as good as they were. That defense was a big part of it, but without Matthew Stafford, I don't think that team makes it to the playoffs.
Can Roscoe's address some lies that was told up in here? Because this is
Roscoe's
crazy.
is crazy. Referring to yourself, what
In the
Roscoe?
third
Just what?
person is so
Okay,
ridiculous.
Yeah, like
shout out
what?
to Spody. Shout out to Spody for actually having it right. Nick Bosa in there.
Huh?
Because y'all do know Nick Bosa. I'm just gonna put the numbers out, and I'm not gonna say nothing else. Nick Bosa was top 5 in pass rush win rate.
Yes, he
He was
was.
also top 10 in an run stop win rate. He also had a 91 overall grade in PFF, which ranked him 4th overall.
I'm gonna do
That's all I'm
PFF
saying.
game.
We
I
don't
don't no
respect
no no
PFF
no
too
no no
much.
no
We don't
no
respect
no.
PFF.
I didn't just hold on. I didn't just go off PFF. I said pass rush win
Oh
rate,
no,
which is
I
the
agree with you on the
ESPN,
other shit. I
which is
knew that for
ESPN.
sure, but
Yeah, the other two was
What is
good.
it
Just yeah,
ESPN?
just
What
yeah,
is it
yeah.
ESPN stat? I'm just saying. And then I also watched the games where listen, all I'm saying when Nick Bosa was dominating against the Seahawks, and he went out, the Niners literally lost the game. They struggled the next 3 games because they didn't have nobody else. All I'm saying, Nick Bosa should be in the top 10. If you didn't put him in the top 10, I don't think you watched
Okay,
ball.
Roscoe, I got a question. Roscoe, I
Only
just have a simple
casuals.
question. Was he more was
Oh,
he
freaking casuals.
Roscoe, was he more impactful than Brady Fisk and Kobe Turner last year?
No, he wasn't. In my opinion,
hold
he
on,
wasn't.
No.
wait. So listen,
In my
defense, you see,
see.
I got Kobe Turner on this list along
This
with
is where
Nick
we looked
Bosa.
at. This is where we look at impact, right? Because where's Kobe? Hold on, let me see. Let's
Kobe
go to
Turner
pass rush.
got it. Kobe Turner got it. He
For
got
their
it.
No, no,
And
let,
particular
where
let,
on
team,
your
let's
was
list,
he more
Roscoe?
hold on, for their particular team, was he more impactful than Kobe Turner or Brady Fisk?
yes. And I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, I'm trying to get to something right quick.
So I just want to
Because
point something out too.
at the end of the day, when you put everything together, right? When you put pass rush win rate, right? Where is Kobe Turner? Well, actually, the only Ram in here in pass Jarrett Verse, he was 14th in pass rush win rate. Let's look at Jarrett Verse in run stop win rate. Jarrett Verse, let's see. Oh,
Braden Fisk is on there
oh,
too.
Hold on. Jared Verse. Okay, Jared Verse was 6 in run stop win rate, but he was 14. Nick Bosa is top 10 in both. Let's look at Braden Fisk. Braden Fisk was what? Oh, Braden Fisk. I don't even wait. Is Braden
He's
Fisk
on their
interior?
defensive tackle. Defensive tackle.
Okay,
Yeah, my
interior.
baby can
Braden
tackle.
Fisk. Braden Fisk. Braden Fisk was 20th in
And mind you, Braden
pass
Fisk
rush.
double. And
Hold
mind
on,
you,
and
Braden Fisk as a defensive tackle doubled
pass rush,
Jared
pass rush,
Verse's sack total.
pass rush win rate. Braden Fisk was 20th, and then run stop win rate for DTs. Braden Fisk, he didn't even make the top 10. All right, that's all I need to say.
So I will say this, Roscoe. You know,
Nick Bosa was more impactful.
I will
Yes,
say this. Now, Bosa had 9 sacks on the year. Braden Fisk had 8.5 sacks. He had him by a half of a sack.
how many QB hit? How many
He
If
had
QB
him.
hit?
He
Fisk
had him by
Fisk
a half of
Fisk
a sack. Now,
Hey,
Bosa
let's
Fisk
run it
was
back
Also,
up
low.
that
also
line.
Fitz
Whoa, whoa,
been
whoa, whoa, whoa! Come on, this
Your
is now.
left
Come on
ready.
now.
10
Okay,
QB hits
the
for
cap.
Braden
Hold on,
Fisk.
hold on, y'all. Y'all
I'm
know
about to say
cap.
Braden Fisk had the
We
QB
cannot
hits
be
too.
freaking cap. No, hold on. We can't be casuals.
I,
It's more than just
but
when you determine pass rush runway, it's more than just
I know
sacks.
that. But that's not what I'm
Sacks
saying,
can
brother.
only do so much for
He
you.
was winning all his pass rush run rate. He had the highest pass rush winning rate, and he only had
That
Oh,
really tore
that
Fisk.
kind of
and mind you,
That does
too,
really tore
Hev,
Fisk.
and
Braden
mind you,
Fisk
Fitz
is
ain't start.
Can I
yeah.
right.
And
just
Fisk
Braden
didn't
quick?
even
Fisk,
start
Braden
in the
Fisk is
beginning of the
also
year.
sharing the field with. He's also sharing the field with Colton Turner, right? Who and so
So
you're
wait.
talking about a guy who doubled. Hold on, sorry. You're also talking about a guy who doubled his teammates' sack total as an interior pass rusher.
All
Like
right. So
he's getting double teamed by a guard and the center every snap in the A and B gap, and still
so
getting to the quarterback.
so listen,
So
real quick.
you
Hold
know
on, Roscoe,
Bosa,
Roscoe, Roscoe,
Bosa.
real quick,
Go ahead,
Roscoe,
go
real
ahead,
quick.
go
So
ahead,
listen,
go ahead.
my choice ultimately boiled down to what I felt Nick Bosa had in addition to his production. So prime example, not trying to be funny, but it wasn't. I ain't trying to take a shot at y'all defense, but it wasn't
No, no, take a
the
shot. You
wasn't
going
doing what
somewhere?
yeah, it wasn't doing what it was doing in
Go.
previous years. So my that was another thing why I actually ultimately went with Nick Bosa over
Thank
Braden
you.
Fisk. I did give Nick Bosa slight credit for having lackluster D line play around him, whereas then I felt like Rams had a nice little well-oiled front
Verse,
right there. Like they
verse,
had,
Fist,
and then the
Young.
rotation to go with it. Like I
Yeah,
just felt
thank
Fit
like
you.
and,
they
and, and
had.
and
Wait,
also
hold on. Verse, Fist, Young. Somebody
So
name
I
me.
gave Nick Bosa the
Somebody else.
slight edge because of lack of as well, like being
Wait,
able
and
to make that
y'all. You
production.
see, and they lying to me. Brandon Fisk only had 10 QB hits,
Yeah,
bro.
10
Yeah.
QB hits, 10
Okay,
tackles
you
for
know how many
loss,
Nick
eight
Bosa
and a
had?
half
yeah,
sacks.
Wait.
but he
Do
was
you know
He
how many
wasn't
Nick
the
if
Bosa had?
Fisk
starter. He
hold
Do
wasn't
on,
the
y'all want to?
starter.
but
Okay. Do y'all want to know how much Nick Bosa had? Because he. Do y'all want to know how many QB hits Nick Bosa had? Do y'all want to know?
20, tw- tw-
I mean,
24.
I need to know
24.
for
who had
the context
24?
of it.
Nick
Nick
Bosa had
Bosa had
24.
He
24.
said both had
Oh,
24
okay.
QB hits.
The
And
one
also
thing the
24 is a lot better.
Fisk was one of the worst tacklers in that division also. Just throwing it out there.
I don't
He
think
had a
it's.
high
I
Who the
he had
don't.
a
hell
high
Jason Kelly come from?
Fisk, Brandon Fisk, he had a Who the high hell he had let a Wes high who the hell let Wes in?
I don't.
Rush win rate that it don't matter about how many games you started. It matters on how many times you won and everything. Nick Bosa won more times than not. He was top 10 in both. You cannot
But
leave
Roscoe,
somebody.
the
Hold on,
reason why I can't
hold on. You cannot leave somebody who is top 10 in both off the best players in the division list. You can't do
But
that. It
yes, you
don't make no
can because we've
sense.
seen guys in the past. We've seen guys in the past lead that stat or be top five, top 10 in that stat and can't get us and can't get the quarterback on the ground. Jadavian Clowney got paid multiple contracts for
Nick
that
Bosa
that
is not
same thing that you're talking about.
Davion Clowney. Nick
I
It's a
Bosa is
mean,
guy
not
so
him.
that's not
I
so
even
the
in the
mean
one
top
thing
Nick,
20
I
league.
mean
Bosa actually wrecked
I
games
mean
more than
Max
him.
Yeah, Max
Wasn't
Crosby was
Leonard?
like him for
So
He
Wasn't
that
did
the
first
all of
one
year.
that,
thing, the
but the
one
point
thing, the
is
one
that
thing I
he did
will
all
say,
of that. He did all of that, and Brayton Fist he only got Brayton Fist by half a sack.
the
A
only
half a
thing,
sack.
the only thing.
Stop talking about sacks.
So
Stop
the
talking
only
about
thing, the
sacks.
only thing I will
You
say,
can't
and
stop
Nick
I
talking
Bosa
don't
about
think
Stop
sacks.
talking
That
sacks.
about
I don't think
sacks.
matters.
sacks the
That
end
No,
be all.
because
matters.
y'all are making you sounded like y'all making sacks the end all be all, and it's not.
Yeah, it's
Do
really
you
not.
get paid off? Do you get paid off for beating the man across from you and not getting the
No,
man on the ground, or do
you
you get paid to get the man on the ground?
you get paid for accumulative of things.
I was
You
gonna
get
say
You
paid
that's
get
for
why,
paid
being
for
an
that's really
elite.
why
you get
Jadavion
paid to get to
Bosa,
Clowney,
the
that's
quarterback.
why
hold
Clowney
on.
been getting paid so much.
Bosa is an elite run stopper. He's also elite pass rusher, and also it's how you affect the quarterback. Am I moving the quarterback off the spot? Am I getting pressures? And those pressures forces interceptions. It's not just about sacks only.
But that's why Jadavion
Because
Clowney has been getting paid his whole career because he does
I
literally
mean,
run games.
and look
But
at
I will
Max
say this
Crosby. His
about
first 2 years, he wasn't
I
really
will say
getting
this
sacks
about
like that,
Nick
but he was
Bosa.
impacting games.
I will say this about Nick Bosa, and it comes back to him having hit sacks or whatever. If you look at this year versus, or you look at last year versus the year before, Bosa played 17 games, had 10 and a half sacks. He played last year 14 games and had just as many sacks as he did in 2023. So yeah, the sacks aren't the end all be all, but that is a defense of Nick Bosa being in the top 10 a little bit because he still gave you that production last year, and he played less games than he played in 2023.
No, and see,
Yeah,
Lou,
in
that's fair. And see, Lou,
2023.
that's fair. But when
See,
you talk like,
if we use that in 2023, which he still was top five, he was actually top five in both in 2023. But in 2023, he struggled the first 5 games of the year, and
Because
everybody was like,
that
"Oh
was the
man,
year that he had the contract
he got
dispute, right?
paid." Yep. This year, he was on pace to at least get 12, 13 sacks. He got hurt against Seattle, and y'all just go watch that Seattle game. Y'all tell me who was the most dominant player, the most dominant defensive player on that floor,
I mean,
on that
I
field.
watched the games. I just
But
felt like
listen,
but that's the reason. And
I
my thing is
personally
I
this:
felt
don't
like
know, man.
it's more than just that because again, looking at the guys on this list, I'm not taking off certain guys. I can't take Brayton off. I'm not taking Brayton off, right? Just because of the simple fact he wasn't the starter on that team and still gave you the impact and production
You
that a
can't
guy
use
who's
that
a
when we're talking. That's
starter
why we
gave
talk
you.
about pass rush win rate
He
because
was a terrible
But
tackler.
I get
When it,
they
tired of
put
that's
that
a
all
empty
they
that's
put that
empty
all in
analytic
there.
stats.
They put
Those are
that
empty
all in there.
analytics, man.
Oh,
Like I
see,
don't
no,
because you can beat the
analytics.
guy
No, no,
across
no,
from
no, no,
you.
no.
That's
You can
crazy.
beat the guy across from you all day long. If you don't get the man on the ground, it
Analytics
don't
stop the
matter.
casualness. Analytics stop the
No,
casualness
no
because
analytics
you
fed
don't. I know
casuals.
That's
for
not
a
It
true.
fact you
fed
don't watch.
casuals.
You
It
don't
actually
watch the
feeds
NFC West.
casuals.
You do
No,
not
it
watch
actually
the.
feeds
You
casuals.
don't watch the NFC West like we do.
It
Matter of
feeds
fact, no, no, no.
casuals.
Hold on. Matter of fact. Again, the
It
Rams
keeps
had
casuals in
burst.
the loop.
Hold on. The Rams had burst, had fist. Who did Nick Bosa have? Tell me. Who is this? Cortland, tell me. Who else was on that 49er defensive line? I want to
So
know. Tell me.
so we
No,
giving
no,
him he
no.
didn't have
Tell me. I
nobody.
want to
We
know.
giving him he didn't
I
have
want to
nobody
know.
credit.
I want to
Leonard
know. I
Floyd
want to
didn't.
know.
It's not
He
Who
like
should
else
have
is
so he
leading
should
that?
have
Leonard
had more
Floyd had
sacks.
8.5
No,
sacks.
no, 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 no.
So here's
Tell
the
me.
counter argument. No, so
Tell
stop.
me.
Here's the
No,
counter
I want you to.
argument. He should have
I asked
ate
you a
more then.
question. No,
He didn't
no.
have
I asked you a
nobody else, so
question.
he should have ate
I
more.
asked you
He
a
should have ate
question.
more.
You
He
see,
should have ate more.
you
So
can't
he should
name
have ate
nobody on
more.
my defensive
No, he should have ate
line.
more. He didn't have nobody
No,
else taking off the plate, so he
no.
should have ate more.
So tell me, who was on the Niners
So
defensive
why
line?
didn't he eat more? Why didn't
See,
he eat more,
see,
Roscoe?
you're not gonna answer that question. I know it,
Why
man.
didn't he eat more, Roscoe?
You see, y'all, he not gonna answer that question
He
because he
was
don't
number
know who's on the
one.
Niners
He was
defensive
number
Cortland,
line.
Cortland, hold
one.
on,
He
Cortland.
He
don't
was
know
number
who's on the
I
one,
Niners
and
mean,
he
defensive
didn't
Leonard
eat
line.
more.
Floyd wasn't great, but the
okay,
majority of
okay,
it
Hold
okay.
wasn't
on.
even worth
So,
100% of
I
the
will
eight and a
say the
half.
reason he didn't eat more is because from what 2023, I think his double team rate was 19%, and then 2024 his double team rate was 22% because he had nobody else to help him.
That's high for an edge because
Yeah,
they
that's what I'm
usually
saying.
float
Leonard
But
Floyd
hey, man, what do I know though? What do I know? I don't know nothing,
the
you know.
average usually be
I don't
around
know
like
nothing.
12, 13%. That's
the other
average
best D
amongst the
lineman
league.
on the team of Leonard
But I
Floyd
You
will
was
see,
say,
and this
in
is
Brown.
why,
Jared,
and this is the
and
difference
then
between people who
and
actually
then
watch the
I will say
49ers.
in Jared
Roscoe,
Verse
you
defense,
mad now? Wait till you see who he left off his AFC West list.
I will say in Jared Verse defense, he got double team 18%. So I mean,
This nigga
you,
way
get-
is messy.
you, you
22 is a lot more than
no,
18, though.
I mean it's a
Hey,
lot
so
more, but
real
I'm just
quick, can
saying with
I
all the
just
niggas they got on their
can I just
defensive
say
No,
line,
something real
Jared Verse
quick?
was still double teamed a
oh, wait,
lot.
I hear you. I
I
hear
just
you.
want y'all
I
to
That's
just
why
know
I
I
there's
told
want
nigga
y'all to
nothing
Jared
know
wrong
though.
Verse
with.
need
20.
respect,
Wait,
Listen,
man.
I
wait.
Try
want
to
y'all
I
to
talk.
want y'all
know
to
You
hear
that.
this
gotta
though.
have
Hold
one
He
on.
mic,
was du-
y'all. We gotta have one.
this the
Yeah.
last this the last thing I'll say. I promise the last thing I'll say. So he was
He's
double team
lying.
more
Don't
than
believe his promise.
stop. He was double team more than anybody, right? 22%, right? And he still was top 5 in pass rush win rate, and he was top 10 in run stop win rate. Hey, jury, I rest my case. I rest my case, jury.
All
Child.
right. I
All
just
right.
want to say that I don't think that it is a problem if you have Braden Fisk on your list or Nick Bosa, or you have both. Because just listening to all of y'all both, everybody just made a case for both of those guys to be considered top 10, in my opinion.
And I think we all agree both of those guys are top 10. I
I think it
don't
was.
think nobody
I
would
think it
disagree
Well, I
with
was
that.
mean, that
one.
was what
I mean,
like
I'm okay with
I
Is
giving
it
Maggie
struggle.
fair they're
Bosa off
add
the
on the
list. I
list?
ain't
Like,
gonna
yeah,
hold you.
like both of
I ain't
those
gonna
guys are
lie, I
on the list for
struggle
me.
with that, like the Bosa versus like Fish shit. I ain't gonna lie, cause like Fish got Kobe Turner too.
I'm gonna take Fist only
I've
because
been
of
here
But
a little
I
minute
Louisville.
now,
Man,
said,
but
Kobe,
so
you
he
got
got
Jared,
Kobe
you got
Turner too,
Kobe,
and
he
yo,
Kobe
and you
Turner.
got
said,
Byron Young.
No, but
Byron
like,
Young had like
but I'm
what
talking about. But I'm
70
talking
sacks
about from
last
the
season.
inside. Was it Kelly? Like how niggas always talk about,
So
having
yeah,
somebody dominate
yeah,
on the inside opens up everything else for everybody else. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like he had a nigga like Kobe Turner, and Kobe Turner got I think double teamed the fourth most or some shit like that this year for defensive tackles. So like I can't really be like saying like the point Roscoe made. Like he got Leonard Floyd, yeah, but Fitz got Kobe
that
Turner,
nigga was
Jared
hot
Verse,
ass.
Byron Young. Like you get what I'm saying? So I get that. I'll struggle with that. I ended up putting both on my list.
I mean, like I said before,
Like, yeah, I'm sure I'm
Bosa,
not
Both
in
of the
my
crazy.
top 10.
opinion,
Bosa on the list.
Bosa had an
Both
okay
the top
year, in
10.
my opinion. It could have been
yeah,
better
it
than
wasn't. It
far
wasn't
better
what we
than what it
used to.
was. It wasn't what
Yeah.
we used to. You know what I mean? He getting paid a lot of Right. money not to have 9 sacks. Regardless of how you look at the win rate he's winning and how great he is defending the run, he's not getting paid over 30 million a year to have 9 sacks. That's not
But
what he
y'all
getting
defense
paid
took a
for.
step back
Wait,
also as
but
a
That's
whole,
true.
as a
you're
unit.
comparing him
Trust
to
me,
you're
Wizard.
comparing
I
him
know
to
what our
his
defense did, bro. You ain't got to tell me
Yeah.
hold
nothing
on,
about the Niners.
you're comparing him to his like
That's 14
you're
games
comparing
though,
him to the
gang.
standard of
That was 14 games.
you're comparing him to the standard Bosa is, which is
Now he
fine.
compared him to
But
the standard of $30 million.
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's what you getting
but
paid to do.
at the end of the day, he's still a top 10 player in our division. And I
Hey,
think I made a very good case.
hey,
Well,
look,
You
that's
if
an
did
you want to leave
fine.
argument.
MAGA,
That's up
Bosa
to
off
that's
your
an
list, I'm
argument.
okay with it.
This is.
Wow.
I mean, but
I
I'll
and
mean,
say
you know what?
this.
And I'll say this.
Hey,
This
that's
is, and
why I
I'll say this.
struggle putting
I
This is a
Bosa
think
on
that's
there.
why
surprise.
y'all
Hold
left him
on,
out because he's
Spody.
MAGA.
This is a surprise from you, Roscoe. MAGA Bosa. I didn't expect this from anybody else but you, Roscoe. As much as you be so pro, but you just taking it.
MAGA
Somebody said, I
Bosa.
ain't gonna lie. Somebody said that he ain't faced enough black quarterbacks last year. That's why it's his
that's
team.
why. No,
I ain't
Nah,
gonna
don't
say
hey,
who
put a
said
name,
it.
put a name
that's
on the
fact.
AB. I said it.
See, Lou.
That's
I ain't
fact.
He
gonna
didn't
say
Yeah,
play
who
he
enough
said
said
it.
black
it.
quarterbacks last year. That's
But
why he
that's
ain't have.
fact.
That's why he
Well,
only
And
I'm
had
Gino
gonna
and
say
nine
this,
Gino
Black
gone and
Roscoe.
QBs,
Gino
bro. That
after
nigga
Roscoe,
and
you
high,
Gino
right.
after
bro.
division.
This is
So
This
there goes
guy
another
used
collusion.
to be
four of
black
them
This is
sacks.
quarterbacks.
collusion.
Start getting
This is
hype.
collusion.
Gino
Nick
Gino
Bosa
out
be
the
like, oh, I got
division
black
now.
quarterbacks.
This is
Huh?
Gino
anti.
gone.
This is
Collusion.
anti
What
MAGA
the
going on.
hell?
This is
I had to mute
Oh damn! I
everybody
thought that
because
was me. I was pushing buttons at
I
the
had to
bottom
mute
too. My
everybody
bad.
because our ambassador got her hand up. So we got to clear the room a little bit.
And Big Mike from the
Um,
OC too.
and Mike Yosei got his hand up. Corey, I'm gonna get you up here because I know you. You got to have a list too, Corey.
Is that
Everybody
the
up here
Cardinals
definitely got
fan?
to have a list. Wizard, you got to have a list too,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Everybody
the
that got a
Cardinals
mic
fan.
Oh, we
need to
can leave
post
Corey
a
down there.
list.
He a Cardinals fan. He ain't gotta come up.
No, Corey, my God, that's my
No, no,
dog.
no,
He
no,
They
got
no.
in
a
the
mic.
NFC West. He got
And
Yeah.
just drop his list. Just drop his list in the drum. Trying to read
And
it off.
everybody that got a
that's
mic, you
crazy.
gotta drop your list. If you don't got a list, I'm gonna replace you for somebody that did get a list.
Yeah, we need
I'm
y'all
about to put
list,
Uh,
I'm about to
man.
put our list. I'm about to put our list up.
We need y'all
and
list.
can we go to
Uh
Hollywood?
huh.
I'm
I
about to
have
go
a
down. I'm about to give.
Get your list. Okay.
I have a list in
Hello
Sports After Dark.
again.
In Sports, I mean in the playback.
Oh,
It's
okay,
not my
okay.
list.
What up, playback? We appreciate y'all for tapping in as well, of course.
Um, so NFC West top 10, they have Fred Warner at 1, as you know, as they should.
Huh?
Number 2, George Kittle. 3, Kyron Williams. 4, Nick Bosa. 5, Jared Verse. 6 is Trey McBride. 7 is JSN. 8 is Leonard Williams. 9 is Devin Witherspoon. What the hell? 10 is Tariq Woolen.
That's not a
That
bad
is
list. Well, the Tariq Woolen.
Who the hell is that?
Now, see, the
What?
thing with me, I was
who the hell is
because
that is
Jared,
crazy.
I
Spoon
ain't even
and
gonna hold
Woolen
you.
is kind of wild. I'm
Like
cool with one of them. I don't know
Jared
about
I
both
Verse,
mean,
of them,
Wool,
but
I I'm
out to
not
you,
not.
Hollywood.
Hold on,
I'm
y'all.
not
One mic,
knocking
one
no.
mic, one mic.
Hold on.
What's up,
I'm
y'all?
not knocking nobody. I'm not knocking nobody for having Jared Verse on their list. Jared Verse, he was a dog last year. You know what I'm saying? But it was we only had to pick 10 people. You know what I mean?
Somebody got to get left off.
Somebody got
Y'all
to get
division
left
wasn't
off.
all that. It wasn't all
And I
I
ain't
mean, Jared
mad. I
Verse
ain't
was
mad
really
at Tariq
good.
Woolen being on the list. Tariq had a bounce back year from that
He
2024
That
run.
did.
one, no, that one,
Are we on the
those,
NFC or are we on
those,
the
no, no,
AFC?
no. We're in the NFC.
NFC.
Those two last names just
NFC, NFC,
surprised me
NFC.
because I didn't think those two names would come up. So
I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
think
yeah,
Witherspoon. I
yeah.
didn't
Yeah, I
think
didn't think
Witherspoon.
Reek Woolen. I didn't
Yeah,
think
Reek
Reek
Woolen
didn't
Woolen
have
and
would.
a
Woolen
yeah.
is
He
kind of
didn't
crazy. Both
have
can
of
a
them
y'all
is.
really
have
good
one
year
mic? Y'all
last
be
year.
trying to talk at the same time, and our platforms can't hear y'all. Like we can hear y'all, but they can't understand what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, they
have
can't
some
hear
class.
everything going
Hello,
like YouTube and playback and
CJ and
stuff.
Spody, have some class.
Have some decorum.
It's really CJ.
I listen.
It's
I
really
know it.
CJ for sure, but I didn't want to throw
That was
a
definitely
bad
wasn't
shot.
I
me.
know we back on spaces and y'all think y'all can act any kind of way. But listen, man, we trying to be a little professional. You know, just a little bit. Just a tad.
Please.
Dang, see, Lord, I just missed doing hood rat stuff with my friends.
Well, this ain't the place, Bucko.
Negro, please.
Negro, please.
Look here, buddy. You take that ghetto ness somewhere else, but we don't do that here.
You
Excuse
keep
me?
that
Huh?
ghetto-ness in
Who are
Huh?
y'all
GIB.
talking?
Huh?
Who are y'all
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
Huh?
Huh? Huh? What up, big what up, Big Mike
What's up with
from
you
the
guys?
OC? Hey there,
Mighty
buddy.
How's it
Evans.
going?
What's going
Ah,
on,
you
Mike?
tell me.
Hey,
You got a list for us, brother?
let me tell you one thing before I
Hell
start.
no.
I'm going to be 64 tomorrow. Do you believe that? I mean,
Hey, shout out Mike, man.
and
Good.
Hey,
that's too old.
Grandpa.
That's a lot of freaking sports in 55 years. Are you kidding me? Anyhow, you guys are.
Happy early birthday, Big
Thank you
Mike.
so much, Ashley. Hope everything's going well. Listen, I'd have time. I've been kind of busy, but let me tell you about this list thing. I love how you guys are putting all these Rams on there because let's face fact. There's at least four: Stafford, Kyron, Puka, Jared. Who, by the way, is going to be a great one. And I
Pook
guess you
ain't
could.
play enough games, Mike. Pook ain't play enough
Oh, but
games. You got to
he's
play 12 plus games.
darn good though. And then you talk about Fisk. You talk about Turner. Man, the Rams are stacked. I mean,
They did kind of dominate the list. You
they
is right, Big
do.
Mike. You is
Because I'm
right.
looking at the other team. You know, heavy. You guys, I know you got Bosa when McCaffrey's healthy. What do the Seahawks and Cardinals have exactly? I mean, who stands out? You know, it's really.
Damn, Mike taking
Leonard
shots.
Williams.
God
I
That
Leonard
know,
God
shot was
Williams.
dang, Mike.
crazy.
but the Rams really. It's amazing how they just kind of put it together again. You know what McVay's done. By the way, heavy. You'll like this. JJ Redick was at Rams minicamp today. He was
See that
watching.
he messed up wrong already.
He was watching McVay because he wants to see how a young, great coach does it. Because JD's got some work to do after that playoff series
He
against
want to make that
Minnesota.
drive up north, man.
But it was interesting. So I don't know. The Rams have a lot there. I mean, I'm sure there's these other teams they got their guys, but should be another fun year for those guys. And Stafford, he's the clear cut quarterback in the NFC West, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mike, you don't think
I think so. Listen,
you don't think
you know,
Trey
he comes in about
McBride,
5
you
years.
don't think Trey McBride, Buddha,
Yeah,
Clear
no,
cut
Julian
quarterback is
Love,
crazy.
Nah, Buddha not last year. I
Ash,
like
what
the
you
Buddha
laughing
this
at?
year.
but it's a weird division, right? I
you know what I'm
mean,
saying? Leonard Williams, right? You don't think them guys can
Brian Young is
under
good too.
Mike
I mean, that's the
over
thing.
there?
Turner and I mean, God, the Rams, you almost have six of those guys on there. You know, it's hard to.
Real quick, Jalen, you might have to redo that list, brother. You got some players up here that didn't play at least 12 games.
Watch the criteria, folks.
You
Hey,
gotta
Mike.
read the
Yeah.
criteria, man, before you get these
Hey,
lists.
Hey,
I did put
Well,
Mike.
that's
our
what I
list in
thought.
the
But hey, what's
jumbotron,
up?
by the way.
Oh, the list sports after dark list is in the jumbotron, people. Mike, really quick. Stafford is the clear cut best
Yes. If he's
quarterback.
healthy, he is. You saw what he
Yeah,
could
he's
still
the
do.
best quarterback in our division.
He's the
I'm not
best.
gonna
Y'all think he
argue
better
that.
than Purdy?
Heavy
Yes,
admits that.
Yes, yes, he
100%.
is.
Ashley,
A
Ashley,
hundred
stop
percent.
that
Absolutely.
line.
I'm
He
not
was
gonna
with the
Easily.
argue.
Eagles in the snow
He's
with crap
easily
ribs.
better than Purdy.
Yeah, he's
Like
better.
Because
I'm
you
not
know
gonna
why?
argue that.
Stop
If
it.
we
Well,
had
we tried
Matthew
to say this
Stafford,
2 years ago. Ain't
if
nobody
we
want to
had
hear that.
Matthew Stafford last year, we would have made the playoffs.
If we had
No,
Believe
y'all
me.
Matthew,
wouldn't,
If we
Nebraska.
yes, we would have made the
We don't do
playoffs.
anything without Stafford. You
I'm
know when
We
it's
would
surprised.
Stafford,
I'm
it's
have.
all
surprised
I
Stafford.
that
love
Yeah,
Kyler
hearing this
Murray.
shit, even
I'm
though I
surprised
had Brock
Kyler
Purdy.
Murray
I
made that
love
I
hearing
list.
this
agree.
shit.
But I
Hey,
will say
listen,
this
man.
though. Hey
I'm gonna be
Roscoe,
Vinny, what do you
honest. You
mean you
know,
hey
have
Roscoe,
Brock
I'll go
Purdy
Vinny
even
over
got
further,
Brock
Ladies and
Purdy
Roscoe.
on
gentlemen, you
his
guys
list.
tougher than math.
let's say that again.
No, I had Brock Purdy. I
I'll
had
go
Brock
even
Purdy.
further,
Nigga took me
Roscoe.
off that cliff
If we
earlier
if we
for
I'm
had
some reason.
Matthew
surprised,
if
Vinny.
we
What do
had
you mean by
Matthew
that?
Good.
What do you
Stafford
mean?
the last 4 or 5 years, we probably have at least two Super Bowls right now.
Yep.
Hey,
I'm
Heb, I
not
ain't gonna
gonna.
lie to
I mean,
you.
probably 100%, but just
I love hearing
specifically
this.
last year. Specifically last year, Brock Purdy was it was terrible in the fourth quarter. Uh, three,
Absolutely.
ga- 3 games in a row against the Detroit, the Rams, and the Miami. He threw
He
what
wet
about
the
five
bed. He wet the
five
bed in all three of
interceptions
them
in the fourth
games.
quarter.
Yep.
Hey
So yeah,
Roscoe.
yeah.
So
But
that
when it
mean
matters,
Brock
when
Glock
it
jam, huh?
matters, what happens?
Oh
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
man, that gun was
Yeah, he wet the
broken.
bed.
Vinny, Vinny,
I
Vinny,
Yeah,
love
that gun was
hearing it,
broken.
man.
He
Vinny. What
wet
did
Hey,
the
you mean
hey,
by
bed.
Heb,
that? What
I'm
do you mean?
surprised
What did you
Kyler
mean by
Murray.
that,
I'm
Vinny?
surprised Kyler Murray made y'all list and not Julian Love, man. I'm
Who?
surprised at that.
Kyler Murray's on the
Kyler over
list?
Julian Love.
I mean, I think Kyler, to me, my personal opinion, I think Kyler had a
I
good year.
forgot
I,
about
I,
Julian Love.
Hey,
I
I
Julian
swear to
will
Love
God.
balled
I
out
will
against the
say this.
Niners
I
last
will
year.
say
Julian
Julian.
Love
I
balled
will
out
say
last
I
year.
forgot
Julian
about
Love
He
Julian
was
Love
balled out against
was
the
played
Niners.
hell of was a
I forgot
hell of
about Julian Love
safety last year,
for
bro.
sure. I forgot about Julian Love. The only person that came to
Three
my mind from the
interceptions,
Seahawks
12
was Leonard
passes
Williams.
defense.
He was the
Shout out
first
to
person
Leonard
that came to
Williams,
mind.
Yeah,
USC
we need
Yeah,
baby.
one.
and
Oh
y'all
my
Fight
had
God,
on.
JS
y'all.
in.
We need one
Y'all
more.
had JS in.
Hey,
Yeah,
Heavy, you
Yeah,
bring up a good point,
one
though,
one
about
mic, y'all.
yeah.
Stafford.
So what I was saying
What if
was,
Stafford all those years was on decent teams? Would he have won how many Super Bowls?
I mean,
Decent
Let's
Stafford
say you put
teams.
him out
Stafford
there with
did
these
wet the
guys, or
bed
put him
some
on.
too, though. It ain't
What
about.
decent
Wait,
teams was
decent.
he
What
No,
on?
decent
I'm
What
saying
teams
he
he
had
is?
was
one decent he
What
was
terrible
decent
on
with the
teams
one
is he
Patriots.
on?
decent Lions team.
Yeah, and he wet
Yeah,
the
what are
bed.
we
He wet
talking
the
about?
bed though. He wet the bed with that one
No, but
decent
no,
Lions
Mike
team.
said decent teams as in
I'm just saying, if
multiple.
he was with a good organization, his career, when he
Huh?
wasn't really with the Lions, they were terrible most of the time.
Well, this
What
is
if he
strictly off
was?
last year, Mike. This is only last year. Only last year, right?
He only had one, I think one
He
winning
had
season in
one. He had like
Detroit.
2 good years. 2 good
But the
years in Detroit.
team is the organization is
No, I'm sorry.
terrible. It's one of the
He had four
worst
winning
in the league
seasons.
for
He had
years.
4 winning seasons. He had a 10-6 season. That was
No
2011.
one could win. When you put Brady on
We
that
are
team, are they going
not
to win?
talking about the past
Like
years.
Yeah,
Please
good
stay
point.
on
I'm
Yeah,
just
course,
that's a
y'all.
saying.
But we
good point.
also not talking about the Lions. Like,
Yeah, let's stay on course,
Come on, Mike.
please.
Stay on
Oh,
topic,
I'm
hey,
man.
just
Stay on
hey,
saying.
Yeah,
topic.
we got to stay on top of talking about the
Hey, you
list,
guys
not
got me
we're
going.
just
Damn.
talking about
individual
Matthew.
stuff.
We're just talking about Matthew
That's
Stafford if he was with San Francisco. We don't care
yeah.
nothing about that shit he did with the Lions.
oh, if he was in San
I
Francisco, if you
put
switch him
that's
out for like
crazy.
Jimmy Garoppolo, I think they win at least
Yeah,
one
we
Or
Super
have.
Bowl
even
this
Yeah,
year.
you switch
I
him
have
out for
too.
Brock. Like you
Yeah,
switch him out for
obviously
You
they
Brock.
switch him out
win.
for Brock,
Yeah,
we
they
have a
win
Super
one.
Bowl. It
No,
just
I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the years. I'm talking about the years that even if that y'all didn't make it to the Super Bowl, where like y'all had Jimmy G and like the rest of them guys. Like
well.
I
To
think
be
y'all win at
fair,
least two.
to be fair, that 2020 year, more than half our team was hurt. So I don't know
wait,
if
wait. Can
Stafford
I
would have
ask
been
a
able to do
question?
much with that squad.
Hold on. Can I ask a question? Yeah. So the last Super Bowl trip, y'all think that if Matthew Stafford was in there, did they beat the Chiefs? I mean,
Absolutely.
I think they
I
stand a
don't think
better
that Brock
I
chance.
did
think
I think
bad
they
I
with
stand a
think
them.
better
it's
I
chance.
mean,
it's
Brock put
it's a
them in a
lot of
position to still win.
One mic.
it's a lot better
Easily,
game.
easily because
I think Matt puts them in a better position to win for sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Roscoe, I'm gonna need you to
because
calm down, Mister. All right,
no, because
Easily is crazy.
Even with the way that Chief defense performing.
Easily is crazy.
no,
Roscoe, you my
I'm just
For
dog,
saying,
one,
man.
I'm
You
just
need
saying
to
Stafford
because
relax.
Stafford has a
Buck
better
the
up.
way
arm
the
than
way
If
our
he has
Russ.
the ball, the
defense,
game on the line, he's winning. That's the way he does it.
the way our defense played that game. I mean, if Matthew Stafford was in there, I mean, we at least win by 10
Our
points.
defense did.
I was
Our
gonna say
defense.
Yeah,
All right, all right,
you're
all right,
running
all
it,
right.
man.
Matthew just
You're
gotta
going
make
a
a
little
couple
too
throws
much.
that Jimmy didn't make or that Brock
For
didn't make.
Yeah,
sure.
but Matthew
For
also gonna
sure.
take a couple throws and a couple sacks
I mean
that you ain't gonna like
Matthew will
Oh,
either.
probably
he
have
gonna
like
give
one
you.
interception.
He was gonna
Yeah,
give the
that's what I'm
He
Chiefs
gonna
saying.
one of
give
He
them
up
gonna
points.
Yeah,
That's
crazy
for
he'll give
sure.
seconds.
He
you
No
gonna
he'll
give
doubt.
up
give
no,
you a
points.
no,
He
ball.
no.
give
That's
you
He
the
not.
gonna give up the
ball.
goal
Yeah,
for sure.
He give you
He
the
gonna
but
throw a
ball.
no,
I
pick.
it's
will.
not
I will tell
accurate.
you
With
this
Matthew
though.
Stafford, like
One
I
mic,
so.
will
one
tell
mic,
you
one
this
mic.
though. when the game on the line, if you give Stafford a
Well,
chance
yeah,
to win the
now game
game,
on the line. I
you
mean, he lost the last
Exactly.
time he had the game on
I
the
mean, he
line
only
about
The
lost it.
bigger the
Philly.
stage, the
Let's keep it
better he
real, Philly.
is.
He only lost to y'all because of Jalen Carter, because he was
Hey,
walking y'all
Exactly.
down
He
the
almost
field.
hey,
He
Now
all I
almost
Philly,
know
beat
is,
y'all.
he was marching
all I
that ball.
know
No
is,
cap, bro. He
He was
was
hey,
marching
marching
all
that
that
I
ball.
ball
know
down the
is,
He was
field
marching
but
that.
quickly.
but
He was
heavy,
marching that joint.
heavy. All I know is the
incredible.
Chiefs got a better D tackle than Jalen Carter. So I'm just
The
saying.
Chiefs. We're not
All right.
talking
Calm
about
down.
that though. We're not
No,
Calm
talking
but
about
down
that.
no,
here,
but listen,
Philly.
what I'm saying is when you say that against the Chiefs, I'm saying the last time he had a chance to do that, he lost. I'm saying the Chiefs have a dominant D tackle too. So it's not like we can't say that Chris Jones could make the same type of big play when the game's on the line. That's all I'm saying.
We're not talking about
His
that
In
though. But
neck
terms of
hurt.
he's
Matthew
His neck
Stafford,
that's
hurt.
though,
not.
you
He
talking
trying to
about in
suck
terms of
it.
Matthew
Yeah, that's not
Stafford?
the same thing. Because Stafford was really walking y'all down the field. Philly, I'm
No,
sure you was
no,
on the edge of your seat
yeah,
watching that game.
heavy. I'm not disagreeing that he didn't move the ball. What I'm saying is, just like you said, how you said, well, y'all had a Jalen Carter that ended up stopping him from that. I'm saying the Chiefs have a Chris Jones that could do the same thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
No, his
saying,
neck was
Yeah,
hurting from the
yeah,
tush
they have a
push.
Chris
That
oh,
shit
Jones
you,
that
hit
could do
him.
the same thing, but they
he's just,
also don't have a running back that's going to put up 200 yards rushing either. So like, I mean, you got to look at it both ways
no.
as
I
far
was
as
talking
like,
about if it's the end of the game. I was
no,
talking about the whole overall
I
game.
get that, but I'm just saying like when you look at if you're looking at Matthew Stafford playing for San Francisco versus him playing in the Super
I
Bowl
guess,
against the
yeah,
Chiefs, there's a lot of other things that factor into that. Where yeah, from the defensive standpoint, yes, they have Chris Jones, but
right.
they don't have a running back that's going to control the game either on the other side of the ball.
I mean,
That
Saquon had
that
him to the
Matthew
Super
Stafford
Bowl
that's
technically.
where the arm is going to have to, or where it's just going to lay on Matthew Stafford to do everything because they still got CMC in San Francisco,
Well,
and
yeah, I'm
like
just saying if you think
it's
about
just
it,
it's just different. I think if they had Matthew
I think
Stafford
they
would have
could
made
win
some
the
throws.
game. I agree with
Yeah,
you. I
Matthew
don't think
Stafford
they
would have
win
made
by
some throws that Brock
the
Purdy can't
win
make.
by 10 thing or win easily was
Absolutely.
the win
Let
by
me
10 or win easily was crazy
let
too.
me
Ten
Well,
That's what
we,
I'm
let
saying.
yeah,
let's move
we know
But
it's
on.
real
easily.
quick, hey,
Oh, it's
Hats,
going to
real
be a
quick.
game for sure. I don't think it's easily,
Hats,
but it's going to be a game
Hats,
for
I'll
sure.
tell you, I did put a top 10. I wasn't expecting to do NFC
No, no,
West.
no. We're not gonna move on. I
Oh,
just
I was
want
gonna
to
say I'll
kind of
give you it.
we gotta keep talking and let's move on to the conversation because we've been on Match Step for like 80 minutes.
Oh,
I
here, I'll
did
just
notice
tell you mine.
The Kyler Murray love. Shout out to the you know good year where y'all putting him as a top 10 in the division. I love that for Kyler. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
I
doing
me
his
don't.
thing.
personally,
Hey,
I
I ain't
think it's
gonna lie.
bullshit.
So much
I'm surprised
controversy
y'all
about
did
well,
that
that,
no.
bro.
man.
I ain't
That
gonna
I
lie
didn't
to you.
put
I'm
I
surprised
couldn't
y'all
Wait,
put
did
y'all
that.
got
Kyler in.
Kyler Murray on the
I
list?
couldn't put
Yeah,
Well,
Kyler in
me
folks
there.
per
got
well,
Kyler Murray
well
on the
me
list.
me per me personally, I
I don't
thought
think
Kyler
he
Murray
played.
had a solid year. He had a pretty good
I
year,
don't think he played a top 10 player in
and
that
he
division though.
and
He's an
to
honorable
be honest,
mention.
and with what he had, Kyler did pretty good. Now, could he have gotten Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball more? But Kyler had a
Yeah,
pretty
for
good
my
year. To
parlay,
be honest with
he
you,
could have.
Kyler
I
had a
had a
better
chance
year
to
than
get.
Matthew Stafford, but we got
I
Yeah,
Matthew
they still
don't
got
Stafford
to
on the
no,
parlay
list.
I
Philly.
don't agree with
You
that. I
you,
don't
you
think
But
think
either
so?
one
Matthew
of them had
Stafford.
a top a year where
Look
they
at
should be
Kyler's
on the
numbers and
list.
look at Matthew
No,
Stafford
but
numbers.
Yeah, so
No,
listen,
no, Matthew
That's
Stafford
hold
didn't
interesting.
have
on.
One
Puka.
mic, one
So
mic, one mic, one
heavy.
mic,
Heavy
one mic.
So
pushing
Yo,
the
listen.
yo,
Cardinals.
we should not have to tell y'all this. This is like the eighth time, dog. Please don't bring out a Muta Baker. Please, I'm begging y'all.
You're gonna
One
have to anyway.
Amita
mic.
Baker's.
Damn. The other platforms can't hear y'all, and the conversation is great. So please, one mic. Hollywood got her hand up. What's up?
No, go ahead. I had another list. You guys are having a great conversation. I'll just wait my turn because I have respect, unlike these hooligans on the
Such
stage.
hooligans, real bad, especially that Cortland
Negroes.
fella.
I ain't
I
gonna lie.
wasn't even talking the last 10 minutes.
It's really Roscoe, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just playing.
Hey, Heavy, you pushing that Cardinals agenda. I love that shit. Talk your
So
shit, Heavy.
heavy.
I ain't gonna lie. He got y'all last in the division, brother. I don't even know why you know what I'm saying. Giving him congrats.
Hey, Hollywood.
What you
See,
mean?
see,
What
I
you
ain't even
Watch
got to
mean?
out,
see. I ain't even
Hollywood.
That's
got to
Watch
say
crazy.
out. Watch
nothing.
out. Watch
Hold on,
out.
hold on, hold
Little,
on, hold on, hold
little
on, hold
sis
on.
know
He
me. I ain't
thinking
even got to
he
say
thinking
nothing.
heavy for the love, knowing heavy gonna put him last in the division. This is sick work.
Little sis know me way too well. I ain't even had to say nothing. I ain't even had to say nothing.
That's
Hey, and
respect, Heavy.
for
Yeah, no,
me,
give him
I don't
congrats.
know
Seahawks
if
last.
Kyler Murray had more yards and he had one more touchdown, but he had like what three more interceptions than Matthew Stafford. I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I don't.
That's why I said
I've never
To
liked
me, the
Kyler Murray,
playoffs,
so I
the
don't.
playoffs
I
matter.
think you need to put Matthew Stafford over Kyler. I love Kyler, bro, but come
Oh
on.
yeah,
I
you
had
definitely got
And
to
I
put
think
me.
they
Matthew
have
Stafford
Stafford
I
is
over
think they
over
Kyler.
have
Kyler.
Stafford
Yeah,
over
we got
Kyler.
Yeah,
Stafford over
he's
No,
over
the
Kyler.
Kyler. He's
argument
over
was like
Kyler on our
Kyler
list.
being on the
Oh,
list.
if
Yeah,
he even in the top 10, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
wouldn't put
yeah.
him in the top 10
That's
Yeah,
why I
necessarily.
said
neither one of them
I
should
would
be
switch
there.
out Julian Love. I would switch out Kyler for Julian
Shit, I
Love.
got my list though. I just made it.
Didn't Matthew Stafford have to carry that
Throw it in the jumbotron,
defense the
Corey.
beginning of the year? Because the Rams had a couple of defensive guys that was out, and so I think Matthew Stafford had to do a lot of carrying, and he didn't
Felt
have
like Kyron was doing a little bit of the carrying. Roscoe, respectfully.
It
and
definitely was Kyron for sure in the beginning of the
he
Yeah,
year.
didn't
you got to calm down on that, Roscoe. I don't know,
he didn't he also didn't have Puka. He also didn't have Cooper Cup. So
exactly. Like Kyron was the engine, bro.
Yeah, Kyron was doing his thing. I mean, Matthew
Kyron kept
Stafford.
them afloat,
Well,
dog.
nah,
Kyron kept them afloat.
Matthew Stafford was doing his thing the beginning of the year too. Like he was
yeah,
balling the beginning of the year, but Kyron definitely carried them niggas because
yeah.
Kyron was going crazy.
Kyron was blacking out in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Kyron was going crazy at the beginning of the year.
But I mean, listen, I'm I'm not knocking nobody for where you got anybody at. You know what I mean? That's what these lists are for. Um, so shout out to y'all. Who we got? We got some hands up. Okay. Hollywood. Go
Yeah,
ahead. What?
there's no right or wrong with these lists. It's
Yeah, it's
all
not no right
opinion.
or wrong. Yeah, it's all opinion
Oh, it's a
based.
couple of wrongs on that AFC side, but go ahead, Hollywood. My bad.
This is from Knowles. He's a Niners fan. So he put Fred Warner,
Is he?
George Kittle, Leonard Williams. 4 is Trey McBride. 5 is Nick Bosa. 6 is Verse. JSN is 7. Kyron Williams is 8. Love is 9. And then he gave 10 to Jawan Jennings.
Hey, and hold on. Actually,
Jawan
I went
Jennings
back and looked
over
at.
Buda Baker.
I
Dewan
went back
Jennings
and
had a
looked at.
good year, but he ain't have a better year than Brandon Fisk. He
I went
wasn't
back
more
and.
impactful than Brandon Fisk or
What's
Kobe
that?
Turner, in my opinion.
What's this fish shit y'all pushing? Because I mean, I think Turner way better than Fisk, and I mean that's
I
just
mean,
me
yeah, Kobe
personally.
Turner way better than Fitz for sure.
So
I
so
Like,
like
so
Turner.
okay. So this specifically
Say
just the
both.
season.
Yeah,
it's
it's just
based.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's just based off of last year. It's not
based
like
on
the
what you
top
did
10
last
players
year,
in the
Okay,
not
league.
okay.
overall. Yeah, it's based off what you did
Yeah,
last year, and they both had
but yeah,
8 sacks apiece.
yeah. Kobe, the
Is
man though.
Simba
Kobe be the
on
man though. But
Yeah,
stage?
Kobe's a dog. Kobe's a dog.
yeah,
Simba,
Simba's
yeah,
on
Simba's
stage.
on stage.
Okay. I don't know if Wiz is in the request. I'll give him a chance to request it before I read off his list. But
And I mean,
um,
we're gonna continue on with this list or with this NFC West shit. But OKC putting a hurting on Minnesota right now. But yeah,
Monkey
They're
let's
whooping
booty,
their
dog.
ass.
let's
Why'd you
Hey,
mention
let
that
me
when we
just
know that was gonna
this
happen?
is one
Over.
more.
let's
hey,
continue with this because we still got to get to the AFC West side,
So
let
I
me
have
and
just say my
a.
list
we
so
got
I
an hour
can.
left.
This is
I'm
crazy.
gonna say my list so I can drop and do my AFC West one. I did this one low key on the fly.
Nah, you're not
This
doing that
NFC
right now
West.
because we ain't dead. So stay up here for a couple
No,
more.
no,
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 no.
so
he's
He
doing the
said he gonna
NFC.
do the
He's
I'm
doing the
NFC
NFC
and then
West
he
one.
gonna
no, I'm
drop.
giving my
He gonna
NFC
make
Oh, I
his
West
thought you
one.
AFC.
said
He gonna
Uh,
make
AFC
his
yeah,
West. My
AFC.
bad,
yeah,
my bad,
yeah.
my
So,
bad.
no, you good.
My bad,
So I
brother.
had Fred. You good? I had Fred Warner, Kyron Williams, George Kittle, Leonard Williams, Trey McBride, Jared Verse, JSN, Matthew Stafford, Brandon Fish, Nick Bosa. I almost put James Conner in there over Stafford, but kind of value the playoff experience or getting to the playoffs and the quarterback spot a little bit more. And the only reason I had Kyron over Kittle was because I agree with y'all. Kyron carried low key
Yeah, Kyron
that
had a
team.
hell of a year.
Yeah, Kyron had a hell of
He
a
had a
year.
hell
Now
of a
all his
year.
touchdowns, were inside 20 yards, or most of his touchdowns were inside 20 yards. And a lot of them were, short yardage. Y'all be hating on my dog, but it's all gravy. Yeah, Kyron had a great year, so I had him number two. Obviously, Fred Warner was the best player in that division. I don't think anybody's arguing that. So, yeah. Also, heavy. I'm very proud to see that you didn't fight for Brock Purdy.
You said who?
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, but
Proud of
listen,
yourself.
you know what I mean. Do I like Brock? Absolutely. Do I like him as our quarterback? Absolutely. But like Roscoe said, Brock had some issues last year that I know us as Niner fans want to see going into this year. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there was a
No.
few games in the fourth quarter where he wet the bed.
Right.
Um, didn't play good in bad weather either. So, but Brock statistically looked like, all right, Brock had a pretty solid year. But when you look under the lens a little
Right.
bit, he wet the bed a little bit last year.
Right. No, in some of those big games, definitely he let y'all down. Or even not necessarily big games or big moments. He
Fourth
throws some
quarter.
bad picks. Yeah,
Very,
throwing some bad
very
picks,
bad.
some bad passes.
Do y'all think him wetting the bed last year has something to do with the fact that he ain't have CMC?
No, because in the beginning of the year,
No,
he actually was playing really well, and then
yeah, I agree.
it just really got to that point in the fourth. It was just really the fourth quarter. At times in the fourth quarter, he just was doo doo.
I just didn't. I just didn't. It was head scratching. Like some of the interceptions he threw was just head scratchers.
But
I'm like Brock, like
heavy. It wasn't even actually head scratching because the year we went to the Super Bowl, he actually played pretty bad in the fourth quarter, and he finally did better when once the playoffs happened. But
yeah,
overall, Brock just in the fourth quarter in his career so far, outside of his first year, it's not been good the last two seasons.
I agree. I agree.
All
So
right.
that was
We gotta move on to the next list.
Y'all gonna move?
Corey
Okay,
and
y'all
then
moving
Hollywood.
on.
I think
Okay,
you
go ahead.
All right,
Holly,
yeah, you can y'all can replace me. I'm not doing my
Holly,
AFC
you
West
got
one.
another list from playback?
Um, nah, I got two that's in the bottom. But y'all excellent do a list. But go ahead.
Oh,
Get to me when you get to me.
okay, Corey, and then Simba, and then we moving on to AFC.
Oh
All
yeah,
right, I
he
got you.
AFC.
So real quick,
That's not me. It's not me.
my 10 was Fred Warner at 1, Matt Stafford at 2, Trey McBride at 3, George Kittle at 4, Kyron Williams at 5, Nick Bosa at 6, Buda Baker at 7, JSN at 8, Witherspoon at 9, and Jared Verse at 10. And really, my question for the host, based on their list, was: has Buda Baker now become one of the most underrated players in the league? I mean, he was second in the league in tackles, and you got to think we had the. I know the 49ers had a bunch of injuries, but we had the most injured D line in the entire division, and he still led. He was second in the league in solo tackles. So um, I know people saying Julian Love, he had a good season, but I mean, Buda Baker's probably the best, run defense safety in the league. So do y'all think he's underrated?
My thing,
No.
No.
my thing is that I don't think he underrated, but it's just like with Nick Cross had a bunch of tackles last year. Your
Yeah,
safety
the
shouldn't
book.
have that
Yeah.
many fucking tackles.
Yeah,
Ex-
I
he
mean, I
shouldn't
mean,
have that many.
yeah.
I said why though. I said why
No,
our defensive line literally,
I get why. I'm just saying like
and on top of
Yeah.
that, we
your
run those
safety
three.
like you said
He
what?
also shouldn't give up 5 touchdowns either.
I was gonna
That
say
too, Vinny.
that's a fact. But I'm saying in terms of that, we have the most three high safety looks in the league. So really, he comes down and plays like a weak side linebacker type role when the play starts. So he does play safety. Don't get me wrong, like that's his position listed, but he rolls down way more than just a regular safety does. Play back or play in zone or play deep safety. So
I don't
Yeah,
No,
that's
think
but
just
he
I
that
me
get
does.
though.
do.
But that
I
doesn't.
get he
That
plays in the
doesn't change the fact. Well, I'm about to say that doesn't change the fact that he still is dropped in coverage as a safety, or even if as a linebacker, however you want to put it. Like he still has given up 5 touchdowns on the
yeah.
season.
Like
That's that's crazy.
I get like he plays in the box a lot because that was my argument. Even like I said for Nick Cross, like he plays in the box. So like I get all of that, but at the same time, it's just like Vinny said, your safety shouldn't be giving up 5 touchdowns. Like you the last line of defense, you shouldn't be giving up all them fucking touchdowns in coverage.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm dead ass trying to remember these touchdowns that y'all thought. I mean, that's what the stats say, so I gotta definitely look back on the film. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my list,
I'm
bro.
about to say I already know one touch. I know one touchdown he gave up.
I mean, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad
Green
at you putting
Bay.
Buda Baker in there either. Like I don't think Buda Baker's a bad safety at all. Like I think he is one of
Yeah.
the better safeties in the league.
I'm with Lou. I'm not knocking you if you did put Buda Baker in there, but like to me, like I said, I just talking about like I get that the Rams had who they had on the defensive line, but just like I said, Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner, even Jared Verse, like the impact
Yeah,
that
you
stood
could put
out
their
to
whole
me.
D line
Yeah,
on there if you
Well,
wanted to,
if
just
you
off
wanted to,
impact.
if you really wanted to,
I was
because
I
the
was thinking.
impact was just
Yeah,
there.
I was thinking for the Rams, it was like offensively the first half of the season, defensively second half of the season. So I ain't even gonna knock nobody
Yeah,
that
I
got him in
agree.
there.
Yeah, but I'm not knocking you if you got Buda Baker up there, because Buda Baker, I respect him as one of the top safeties in the league. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not knocking it. The top 10 list. It ain't as easy as people join. Because I forgot all about Julian Love. Forgot
I
all about him.
100% forgot about
Yo,
Julian
but see,
Love.
he gave up 6 touchdowns. But I mean, the difference is he got 3 picks. But
He gave up six. I was
yeah,
that's new to me. Yeah, I'm
All
about to
right,
start,
anybody got
Vinny,
Yeah, he
I'm
any?
about
gave
to
up
start
six
coming to you
touchdowns.
for.
That's a
I'm
new
about to start
number.
coming to you for these stats,
now
Any
don't
last
come to me
call?
for shit.
bro.
Don't
Because I
come to
didn't
me
know,
for
no,
Nah,
because I
go to
did
go
shit.
to
not know that.
go to
It's a
Vinny.
lot of
He'll
other niggas that know a lot of
Uh,
other
Vinny can
shit.
do
Don't
it.
come
but
Yeah,
to
real
me
quick,
for
all
Yeah,
right, let
shit.
me run through my list. Oh yeah,
yeah.
let me
Run through
run
your
through my
list
list.
so we can get to the AFC, please.
I got Fred Warner, George Kittle, Jared Verse, Karen Williams, Trey McBride, JSN, Leonard Williams, Buda Baker, James Conner, Nick Bosa. Realistically, I really want to put
Jared Verse
Matthew
at
Stafford in.
three. Ooh.
Jared Verse at
Yeah,
3 is pretty high.
yeah. I I was kind of high. I wasn't really high on him. I didn't think he was that good coming into the league, and that's probably me being a hater. But he proved me wrong, so I gave him I gave him a little extra credit
No, he's a
because of the
dog.
fact
He's a dog.
he's a dog. He proved me wrong. I can't be mad. I can't be mad because if you prove me wrong, bro, I got to give you some kind of credit for that. 'Cause I didn't think he would pan out, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. I see we got one more hand left, and then we can transition to the NFC. I mean, the AFC West. What's up? What's up, Rod? You got a list, or you about to come up here being all hype because we show love to the Rams?
Um, I actually wasn't gonna be hype at all. I just
Okay.
I wanted to know where are we actually putting Puka Nakua on this
He didn't
list.
play enough
He didn't
games
play
He
enough
on.
didn't play
games.
enough
You got to play
games. That's
12
why
plus games. That's
you
part of
got
the
to
He
play
got
at
to
least
play
criteria.
12
12
plus
games.
games.
Uh huh.
Yes.
All right, I'll back down. I'll back down. I do think, however, that you guys are overrating Kyron Williams and Jared Verse. Um, Jared Verse, I was a big fan of his. He was bad for the first month of the season. He was a bad player for the first month of the season. Um, got a lot of pressures, missed a lot of sacks. The Cardinals fans in here can attest to what he did. I think Kyler Murray threw like 3 touchdowns after like he missed sacks on him. He was constantly giving up contain on outside runs. Um, which allowed teams to get a lot of big plays against us. In the second half of the season, the stats weren't there, but he was definitely a better player. And then down the stretch of the playoffs, I think he really stepped up. But I don't think he should be in the top. I don't think he should be in the top 10 if we're ranking players in the NFC West just yet. I think he's got a lot of potential. Kyron Williams, while being like stats don't matter. I mean, stats don't lie. Like numbers don't lie. Like you can't bend and he's one of the most productive backs in the league. Um, but when you watch him play, there's it's like, all right, if I need 4 yards, like Kyron Williams is gonna give me 4 yards. But for a lot of other plays where like a lot of other guys are taking that shit to the house, Kyron Williams is getting me 4 yards. And it's like, yeah, it's dependable and it's what I'm saying again, and we feed him the ball and he's one of the most productive backs in the league, but yeah, I think he's a little bit overrated in this. And those are my really only big points.
So with Verse, I'll say like I get he was not as productive in the first half of the season or the first month of the season, but I mean that's kind of what you attribute to being a rookie. So like I get that, but then like as the season went on and he got his legs up under him, he started understanding what the league expects and what he's supposed to do. That's when you start seeing him getting all the pressures and doing everything that he was supposed to do. Um, and he got better
Well,
as a
he
rookie
was
should.
always getting the pressures. Like I think he had, I don't know, I think he had a record for a rookie for pressures in the season. And he had like one of the most that's ever been had. But it's like pressures are a good stat, but if the sacks aren't coming with it's kind of like like I said, like we saw in the
Well, I
Cardinals
can't
game,
necessarily say
like
that because the thing is, if you're getting pressure and like turnovers and sacks aren't coming with it, then yeah, that's an issue. But like if you're getting pressures and you're creating turnovers or you creating sacks for other players, then
that's the
you're
thing.
Yeah,
you're
that's what I was
Yeah,
productive.
that's
about
the
to say.
thing. No, that's what I'm saying. That
That's
Yeah.
the
wasn't
big thing
happening.
is.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
So
Like
you
he
feel
was
like
creating
Kobe Turner
pressures.
should be on
He
that,
was
huh?
creating pressures, and teams were scoring touchdowns on those plays. Like it's
But then that's when you discredit the other players because if he's creating the pressure and nobody else is getting home, that's not on him.
I
Because
mean, if
even
you miss the sack,
rushing
if
from the
you
edge,
miss
if you're forcing the quarterback to step up and no defensive tackle is there, that was the issue with the Colts. You the edge rushers are forcing your quarterback to step up, but your defensive tackles ain't there.
if you miss the sack, and on top of that you give up outside contain, and the quarterback gets outside and throws a touchdown, like that's on you.
Yeah, that's on
Like
him for sure.
that's on you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking. There were a lot of those plays. There were, or not a lot, but there were a number of those plays earlier in the season, and it cost us like defense. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he was a rookie, so it's not like I'm trying to shit on him, but I'm just speaking objectively for like I think like the first month and a half of the season, like he was not a good football player. And like even on the back half of the season when he improved, like the sack numbers still, I think he only had like 5 sacks total, this season, which what I'm saying, like he did created a lot of pressures, but to me, like I'm a big thing, like I do think pressures matter as a stat, like, and I do think they're very important, but if the sacks aren't coming with it, it's a little bit.
But finishing is a part of developing as an edge rusher.
Yeah.
So I think like that whole thing about it being his rookie season is kind of like right there. I know it seems like the easiest route to take, but I mean it's the truth.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
I
I'm
mean,
not.
I think
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree. No,
where
and I
we
agree with you that he can get better, and I think he will get better. I'm just like, right. I'm a person who like I just like to speak about players objectively as they are right now. Like, we can talk about things in context, and what I'm saying, injuries, and they're young players, and what I'm saying, like we can talk about that. But like if I'm judging a player right now, like I have to speak on, the body of work that he's put together.
But I think with Verse, as far as like, yeah, the sack numbers weren't there, but when you look at the body of work, you look at the second half of the season, or even after the first month and a half of the season, the effectiveness of the pressures that he was getting, which created other things, which led to other things happening, especially like you said in the playoffs. We saw Jared Verse wreck shit in the playoffs. Like we saw that
Yeah.
constantly for those few games they played. What was it? 2 games in the
Two
playoffs.
games, 2 games.
Yeah, the 2 games in the playoffs. Like we saw Verse wreck shit. Even during like the second half of the season, like you saw Verse, and he didn't have the sack numbers. You're right, but you constantly saw him wrecking shit in the backfield. And
Oh
so
no, yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like he improved as a player, like especially as a run defender, he's
yeah, he
night
improved
and
for
day
sure. Yeah,
from night and day from week 1 to week 14, night and day when you watch Jared Verse defend the run. Like he's a guy like who and he's a phenomenal athlete, but I think he kind of like when you're playing like Madden or NCAA and you got a player who's like a 99 overall, you're not really like you're not following the rules out there. You just out there just doing shit. He kind of thinks that he kind of thinks that he's that kind of athlete, and it's like when you get to this level, like you can't do that. Like you got to
yeah, yeah,
there's other guys out here that are, you know what I'm saying.
yeah. No, I get you. What's up, Hollywood?
Oh no, my hand up for when y'all go to the AFC West for playback and
Oh
then
well,
I'll
we
be
about
right
to
back.
we about to transition to that motherfucker right now. So I don't think nobody else got a list, do they?
Yo,
I
what
think
up, y'all?
Wiz had a list. I don't know if he up here.
Who just came up? Oh, Nose came up. What up, Nose?
Ain't nothing. I think Hollywood, you already read my little
Yeah, I
thing.
just put my list
Yeah,
in the
you can
jumbotron.
explain it if you want to.
What? Oh, well, pretty much. Because I heard heavy them talking. I think that when I had came on. The reason I put Jawan Jennings at number 10 because I felt like some of those games we wouldn't have been in if it wasn't for him. I get everybody did this, and I get what you were saying about what the Rams defensive line did and stuff. But I felt like that guy right there, when they came down to big moments, especially against the Rams, that guy kept us in games where we should never been there. So I felt like to me, that was a year that he proved to everybody like I could be that threat. I'm not just that third down wide receiver that people know me for the first 2 years of my career. Now I'm that wide receiver. Y'all know, like, hey, we got to worry about this kid now because I could be that dude. Because without Kittles, I mean, if it was for Jennings, the only wide receiver we had last year is Kittles. Other than that, Jawan Jennings played a big impact in the majority of those games that we won
No,
and the ones that we was in.
no,
Yo,
no. Who the hell is Kittles?
huh?
Man, you know who he talking about.
I said
Hey,
Kittles.
Kittles is
Yeah,
crazy.
he always add the S on the end, and
I'm
Oh,
not
Kittles.
laughing.
never
Oh,
No, that joint is
understood.
hilarious. Kittles
Yeah,
is
right. And
insane.
Noah's been calling them Kittles forever, and I was
Kittles
like,
is
I just let it
insane,
rock.
bro.
I just let it rock. I just let it
hey,
rock.
and
I'm like, who
also,
the
man,
hell is that?
I don't know if I had told y'all, but congratulations on y'all little one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all,
Thanks, Nose.
you know,
Appreciate you.
yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. Hopefully he becomes a Niners fan and don't follow his mom.
Hey,
Hopefully.
I don't know if y'all know, but yeah, I haven't talked to y'all in a while, but
I hope he don't follow neither one of y'all. To be
I got
honest,
one
You having a
coming
baby?
in.
No.
I got one
You
coming
know
in
what, Lou?
June, so I'm
Oh,
hopefully
congratulations, Nose. You having a girl or boy?
I'm having a boy, so he be his
Oh, congratulations, big nose.
Congratulations, brother.
Kittles is
appreciate
crazy. Kittles is still crazy.
it. But no, that's
Talking
the
about what
reason
we
why I
just
got
talking about
Dewan
with
Jennings on the
Kittles.
at
I'm like,
number
who the
10
hell is
though.
that? Kittles. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but
Listen,
go ahead,
Jawan
y'all got it.
balled out last year. Jawan balled out last year, man. He was our best receiver by far.
shit, he almost had 1,000 yards last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he would have
Yeah,
got it if the ref ain't kick him out the game against the
yeah, against
Cardinals. He would have got
Arizona.
it.
So you know what I'm saying. But another thing I knew, I was telling in GIB yesterday. It's one player I was looking for, but I already knew he wasn't gonna make it because I guess it's the big name. It's Dominic Lenore, the cornerback for us. Uh, he had. If you look at what he.
Roscoe mentioned Lenore. Roscoe
Lenore had a
mentioned
good year too.
Oh,
Lenore
he
had a
did
good
say
year.
okay. So see, that's the only
No, not up here. I'm just saying on the side. He
on the
kind of
side.
mentioned that
Okay,
he
okay. But
on the
yeah, if you
list.
look at the games he did against big wide receivers that he played against, he pretty much held his side down and stuff or whatever. So, but go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, Lenore had a good year, man. I'm expecting big things out of Lenore going into this next year. But
Yeah.
I'll save that for the state of.
Okay. Okay.
All right, now we transition into the AFC West. Hollywood, you said you had a list for that
Yeah, let me go ahead and
to
get it out
start
the
us off
way.
with.
It's from playback. Oh, somebody said okay. So put both the they going outside. Okay, amen.
shout out to the people on feedback doing their thing over there. Shout out.
Um, for the AFC West top 10, um, one is Patrick Mahomes. Number two is Patrick Surtain. Number three is Brock Bowers. Number four is Max Crosby. Number five is Chris Jones. Six is Bo Nix. Seven is Justin Herbert. Eight is Trent McDuffie. Nine is Cortland Sutton. And 10 is Vlad McConkey.
Brock Bowers at 3 is insane.
Oh, but
Uh,
what I said it the other day,
Whose
niggas
list
got
is
mad at
that?
me.
it's TJ list, but
That's
I'm not.
TJ list.
I mean,
Brock had a
I,
great he
I,
had
Well,
a
you gonna
great
hate what that
Brock
I
nigga
had
had
a
in
wouldn't,
my
good
I
list.
year.
wouldn't put Brock.
But I'm gonna rate him
I
at
wouldn't
3
put
though.
Brock there. But Brock had a hell of a year for a
He
tight
had a
end,
hell of a
though,
year for a tight end.
and he was
I give
legit
you
their
that.
only offense.
I give you that. But I don't
Yeah,
at
Number two
three.
on
So,
my
Heavy,
list.
can I ask you a question, please?
Yes.
he number two on your list, Vinny.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to ask you a question as it pertains to your Brock Bowers pushback, and the reason why is because I also have Brock Bowers at number three.
Okay.
Being that he was the best tight end in the NFL last year, does
Hello?
he not? Who was better than him?
Man, Kittle was not better than
Hello?
him.
Kittle
Period.
was not better than him, gang.
Hello?
Like,
Hey,
he was.
you know what?
Bias,
I give a
man.
lot of
Hold on.
people.
So hear me out, and I'm not listen. This ain't no shot at Kittle because Kittle to me was the second
No, no,
best
no.
tight end, which is why
I
he
know you
was
ain't I know you ain't
number
giving
two
no
on my
shade, gang.
list. But I'm so for me, remember what I said about the whole All Pro thing. This particular division had hella All Pros, so it was easier for me to place these guys. And like, how do you argue not having him in the top three as the number one tight end in the league based off of y'all's criteria? Last year's production, he was the only impactful player on the offense. Like I mean, he checks every single box, and he did it as a rookie. Number one tight end, All Pro first team. I just don't see how he's not the second or third best player in this division.
they had another
I,
I
1,000 yard
don't see how
receiver
you
over there.
got Patrick Mahomes as
I will
number
say
eight
this,
on
40. I'm
your
just saying
list
him and George Kittle
when
both
he should
made
be at
first
least
team all
top
pro. I'm
five
just saying.
according to the same criteria that you talking about with Brock Bowers,
No,
30.
that's not true. So, pertaining to the criteria that I actually gave, which is your criteria plus the fact that these guys were all pro, my first five players on my list were literally first team all pros. And then I
You
have
can't throw your own extra
no, I
spin
didn't
on the
throw my own. No,
criteria.
no, I didn't throw my own.
You did.
I
To my
didn't.
all
I
pros.
didn't throw my own extra on it. What it is when
Like
I was
what?
considering, when I was
I said, yeah,
considering
I know you did
the
that with all your
placement, when I considered the placement, I'm like,
yeah.
okay, how can I not consider a player who was considered the first or second best player in the league? We're strictly talking division. So I feel like that just for me was the standard for where I placed him, which is why I probably should have had PS2 at one. I admit that because he was DPOY. But I wholeheartedly believe if you take Chris Jones off that defense, then the Chiefs defense is not as good without Chris Jones. You don't
That's
have
why
all of that production without
At
Chris
all.
so
Jones.
that's why
So
that's
that's why
why
he's number one.
so that's why Spody, I think that for people to have Brock Bowers over Chris Jones, I don't agree with that. Cause just what you
Oh
just
no,
said.
Heaven,
Yeah,
look at
I
my
agree.
list. I
I
got
agree
Chris
with that.
Jones at one though.
And
Chris Jones is at
and
one,
and and
PS2 is
also
at two,
they
and
had
then
another
Bowers is at three.
they had another 1,000 yard pass catcher over there with the Raiders also. I mean, Jacoby Myers,
Yeah,
he had a
Jacoby
1,000 yard
Myers had a
receiving,
thousand
and he
yards
missed
too.
2 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
he
I
did.
mean,
Listen, shout out to Jacoby Myers. Like he was also a
the
bright spot
Patriots
on their
legend.
offense, but he was not doing. I'm sorry, like watch Brock, bro. Like if you seen
Oh
it,
no,
you
Brock
seen
is a dog. That's baby
it.
Kittle right there. That's baby Kittle.
Yeah, that's that shit he did last year, his rookie season, bro. That to me
Man,
just
hell no, that ain't
outweighed.
no baby Kittle.
Hey, I've been calling him Kittle 2.0
That nigga don't.
2 years
That
ago.
nigga
Nah,
don't
he
block
can't block.
nothing.
He
That nigga
definitely
don't
can't
block
block
nothing
like
like
Kittle.
Kittle.
Oh, he doesn't block like
That
that,
nigga
but I'm
Kittle
talking
a
about
sixth lineman.
Baby,
when he got the
hey,
ball in
baby
his
Kittle
hand.
and Indy. Baby
Hell,
Kittle and Indy.
hell no,
Hey,
Yo,
I'm telling you,
yo,
Tyler
if
Warren.
hell
Man,
no.
Tyler Warren gonna be that nigga.
who?
Yo, if Cortland is about to go, can I give my list before him? Because it's gonna
Yeah.
cause a lot of
Nah, go
controversy,
ahead,
and we gonna
Corlin.
be
Go
on that
ahead,
shit for
Corlin.
like.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead and give your
Listen,
Corlin.
list. Go
Telly,
ahead and give your
William
list,
bro,
No,
Vinny.
go
Kelly
ahead,
is
Vinny.
we gonna be
messy,
on that shit for
bro.
Yeah,
30 minutes, bro. I promise,
let
bro.
Vinny
Go
go.
ahead, yeah,
Shout out
Vinny.
to
Go ahead.
Big Day. She in the building.
Yeah,
Nay
let me get this shit
Nay.
out the way.
Go ahead, Vinny.
I got Pat
Hey
Surtain at
Kay.
one. I got Brock Bowers
Hey
at
Big Nat.
two. I got Zach Allen at three. I got the Quinn
Zach
Miners one,
Allen,
which
love, love it.
which niggas is gonna say is crazy, but the guard for the Broncos, Quinn Miners, I think that's how you say his last name. He had four. Chris Jones at five.
Hold, I'm
Trent
sorry. I'm
McDuffie
sorry.
at
I'm sorry.
six.
Vinny, can you redo your list again? I'm so sorry.
All right, yeah.
Cause
Pat
Spaced
who
out.
Surtain
moved?
at one. Brock Bowers at two. Zach Allen at three. Quinn Miners, the guard at four. Chris Jones five. Trent McDuffie six. Lad McConkey seven. Derwin James eight. Max Crosby nine. Patrick Mahomes 10.
You don't got
Wait a
okay,
minute.
wait,
Wait
wait,
a
wait, 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 wait.
minute.
I got
Nah,
a
my
question.
shit not supposed to be the
Hold
controversy.
on,
Cortland shit
Vinny.
supposed
I
to be
got
the
I got a
controversy.
question. You don't have Justin Herbert on your list?
Nah, see, look, right. I was gonna put like with all my lists, I felt inclined to have to put a quarterback because one of the main criteria is impact.
Well, what about
Um,
Big Bo?
so I was picking
Man, get
between
the fuck
him
out of
and
here.
Patrick. Sorry, Ashley, no, thank you. I was picking
Yeah,
between
right.
him. I was picking
His
between him and
impact was
Patrick
crazy with the
Mahomes. I was
Broncos.
picking
Don't do
between
that to
him and
Big
Patrick
Bo.
Mahomes, and I don't think Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that team go far without Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes not the quarterback. I think Sean Payton can make anything work with a nigga like Bo Nix. I'm sorry.
I agree with that statement. That's why I seen some people had Bo
Damn,
Nix
can
on
we
their
get
That
the
list.
don't
fatty?
hold up, boo. That don't count because you don't like Bo. You
Listen,
ain't you
listen,
don't
listen.
roll with Bo anyway.
I do. I
You
do.
don't.
But
So that don't count for you.
But hold on,
Talk about
AD.
I'm good. Talking about I
Hey,
wouldn't
one
do
But
mic, one
this.
AD,
mic,
we
one
both
mic,
Hell no.
one
admitted.
You don't
mic,
like
one
Bo
mic,
from
one
the
mic, one
jump.
mic.
You never
But
like Bo.
AD, we both admitted last year that Bo was balling for
I
them
gave
niggas.
Bo his flowers.
We admitted
We
that.
gave him his flowers for hooping.
But that
I
don't mean
did
that
want to
nigga need to
put.
be on
That
that
was one
fucking
week.
list.
That
Vinny
was
made
one
a
week.
I
valid
did
point though. Like Peyton can make a lot of quarterbacks look good. You know what I'm saying?
look good.
He can make a
Yeah,
lot of
Mike
quarterbacks
Dennis
look
look
good.
good.
that nigga made Kerry Collins
But
look good as Chef
and
Overly's
my
likes
question
to
is to you,
let niggas
Vinny.
know.
Why you got Mahomes at 10? You don't think nobody you got above him should have been under him?
Good job, Benny.
Nah,
Good job,
only
Benny.
like just being fair, like in his gameplay, right? Like even people talking about the start of the season with other players. I think the beginning or the first 5 games of the season to start the year, he threw a pick in every game. So like it's
Talk
certain
about it.
certain aspects of that shit that I
Hey,
can't
Vinny,
really. And then you talk about the Super
you
Bowl,
wouldn't
like
have had to tell the people that if that was
I
Dak
I
Prescott.
can
He
They'd
was
definitely
had that
say
already
he
in
I
their
was
mind.
definitely
I
anytime
can
he had
definitely say that they probably don't get to the Super Bowl without him.
But he played
Yes.
like ass
But I
though.
can also say in the Super Bowl he played like ass. There's a multitude of games throughout the season where he played like ass, and
Hey,
Right.
I still can't take away from the fact that he is Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's why he had 10. But Max Crosby, I wanted to be a little bit higher, but he only played 12 games. But my thing with niggas that played 12 games, same thing with Dex. Nigga has 7.5 sacks in 12 games. Like, that's not crazy.
That's crazy. It is, but
hey,
Hold
I
on,
Vinny.
who
mean,
had seven and
I
a half sacks?
Max.
Max
Crosby
Crosby.
did.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
what about
Vinny.
Nick? Did you have Nick
So
Benito on your list?
Oh
he was
no,
on
but okay. So
mine.
look, right. The reason I didn't have Nick Benito on my list is sort of kind of the same reason or thing that niggas do with like a Brian Burns or a Kayvon with Dexter Lawrence, right? You got a nigga like Zach Allen in the middle of the defense that's opening up shit for all them other niggas. Zach Allen, I think, had the second highest or third highest, some shit like that, double team rate for a defensive tackle. That nigga went
That's a
crazy
fact.
this
That
year.
yeah,
He
just go
led
turn on the tape.
he led all defensive tackles with like 67 pressures, and that was tied for like the ninth most among all pass rushers, whether it's edge rusher, whether it's outside linebacker, whether it's D tackle. He was tied for ninth in pressures. So he
Got
generated
you, got
14
you.
pressures against. I mean, he generated 14 of his pressures of against like they was double teams basically. Like 14 of his pressures was all against double teams. So you know.
Hey, Vinny. I
I
just
I
want to
I,
say
I know
good
niggas
job
had
with the
I know
Quentin
niggas had
Miners nigga.
13.
I
I know
have
niggas had 13 sacks, Elu, but the Jonathan Cooper nigga had 10. Like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah, I
throw
get
him
you
on there.
saying.
You get what I'm saying?
You heard me, Vinny.
um
Damn, my
Good
bad,
shit. Good shit
Courtland.
with the Quentin Miners. Quentin Miners for sure.
Yeah.
He still got
um
better than Creed, but okay.
It's
that's
on
crazy.
Cortland, I believe.
So Cortland's next, I'll go after him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's up, Cortland? Where Cortland is that?
Bro, I don't know why
bro. You
they
know
Nah,
why,
gassing
that
this.
shit.
nigga.
This shit about
You
to be
know why.
controversial.
You know why, bro. You
I
know
don't
They
see the
exactly
gassing
why.
this list
controversy
up.
besides
They
number
I
one.
got I
they
gotta see
gassing this
Portland
list up so
list.
much. Yeah, they gassing this list up way too much, bro. So I'm gonna run through it. Patrick Mahomes at one.
All
Number
right.
two,
Mm-hmm.
PS2. Number 3, Brock Bowers. Number 4, Max Crosby. Number 5, Nick Benito. Number 6, Bo Nix. Number 7, Brock. That's a Brock. Justin Herbert. Number 8, Jonathan Cooper. Number 8, Jonathan Cooper. Number 9, Cortland Sutton. And number 10, Lamb.
Wait the hell a second, Cortland. Wait
No
the
Chris
hell
Wait the
Jones
a
hell a
this
Wait,
second
season.
is
hey, where
crazy.
the
No
hell?
Chris
Hey,
Where the
Jones,
I
nigga.
told you.
What
get
the
it,
hell
What
a
Hey,
is
second
cuz?
is
going? What is
insane?
going on,
hey,
son?
Hold.
Wizard Kelly was waiting on.
Cortland.
Hey, look.
Cortland.
Hey, wait the hell
Wait
a
the hell
second
a
is
second is
crazy.
insane.
What the hell?
What
What the hell,
what
Leontay?
where's Chris Jones, bro?
Let him
After number
speak.
one.
Let
Okay,
him
so I was
speak.
the only one who didn't hear Chris
Let
Jones.
him talk. Now let him be a man.
Wait, what happened now?
They want to know where the hell is Chris
Where
Jones?
Chris
Where's Chris
Jones? Where Chris
Jones?
Jones at?
Please do not jump him all at once,
Yeah,
So
fellas.
please.
yeah,
You know
One
what I'm
mic.
yeah.
saying? Let him at least fight
Uh,
1-on-1 first. You know what I'm saying? Then jump.
that's great. Chris Jones was. I didn't put Chris Jones on the list. I felt like Jonathan Cooper I had a better season for the Broncos. And a lot of people, are not going to feel that way because Chris Jones is who he is. But that it was hard to deny Jonathan Cooper, like looking at the season he had and the impact that he had on that defensive front for them, for Denver. So definitely, like not saying Chris Jones is not a great player. I do think he's a great player. It's not disrespecting him. I just think Jonathan Cooper had a better season.
So if we talking impact, Chris Jones, you can kind
Jonathan
of
Cooper had a big impact as well.
No way, not than Chris
bro,
Jones.
no,
Not a
not
chance.
more than Chris Jones, bro. Like no way in hell. No way in hell
Jonathan Cooper didn't have
he
a
didn't have
bigger
a bigger
impact than Zach
impact than
Allen.
yeah,
One
like
mic,
come
gang,
on,
one
man.
mic.
You take Chris Jones, like we just said earlier, if you take Chris Jones off that Kansas City defense, they look completely different. Totally different.
Yeah, they definitely don't get to the bowl, in my opinion.
They do not get to the Super Bowl if Chris Jones is not on that defense.
But I feel like you could say, I feel like that Denver defense is not as good as they were if you don't have John Cooper and Nick Benito on there. So like
Man,
that's so like that's it's a big
you
story
know
to
that's
argue that
not the
about it.
same, Cortland.
No, but this is, I mean, it's the masses opinion versus my opinion. So
That Denver
nobody
There's
defense
can,
nothing
also
wrong
had
with
the
your
I don't
defensive
opinion. There's
disagree
player of
with
the
nothing
year
wrong
y'all.
with
too,
your opinion.
Cortland. That Denver
I
defense
don't
also had the
disagree with
defensive
y'all.
player
I
of the
just
year
don't
too.
think you said what now?
That Denver defense also had the defensive player of the year too.
No, that's fair. He was on one side though. Like that defensive front also contributed to that. So if you don't have that defensive front, do you think PS2 is going to be able to do what he's on the back end? Like,
DG asked him about Trent McDuffie. He said, "What about him?" Damn, Cortland. No Trent. No Chris Jones. You know
Hey,
what
and
I'm saying?
wait, he didn't have Trent McDuffie.
whoever commented on that, talking about Trent McDuffie is a top two corner in the league, man,
All right, now I don't know about
or
that.
top three. He said top
Huh?
three.
That was
Go,
that was
Shame
that
go,
was
on
go,
DG's
go
burner.
about
That's
your
Stewie.
business,
DG's
cuz.
burner.
Top three? I
That's
don't know. He
DG's
was top
burner.
three.
Going about your business, cuz.
I like McDuffie,
No, it's
but
Don't put
not
those
top
top
allegations
three.
three.
on my brother. You out your
Yeah,
mind.
top
But
three
Yeah,
is
Hey,
top
don't put
try
that.
some
Don't put them
boxing.
allegations on my dog.
Hey, just
three is
tell
a
him try some
stretch.
boxing.
Top three
Try
is a
some
stretch.
boxing.
first of all, it's not. But I do agree with that. Trent McDuffie is a top three corner in the league.
I
You're
told you that
lying.
was that nigga's
Well,
burner.
never
Not a
mind. Put them
chance.
allegations
Yeah,
on my dog.
Like what?
Yeah, never
Some
mind, y'all.
boxing.
I'm
Try
crying.
some
I'm
boxing.
sorry.
Crazy.
he said put the allegations on him. That's crazy.
Lou said, "Never mind, take that back. We gonna let that rock."
I'm crying. That's
Oh
funny.
man. Oh my
Okay,
Just
so
god.
get my dog some Suboxone. You know what I'm saying? Be all right.
Cortland, let me ask you a question.
I don't
So
see why y'all think that's crazy,
you feel
man.
like
Like,
I got a question. Looking at what the Chiefs did last year, right? Let's on the offensive side. Who the hell in the background is it raining? Who frying chicken?
I'm not
Oh,
taking a shower. Who is fried chicken?
I
okay.
hope nobody's taking a shower.
Hey yo, we don't do
no,
that.
that was me. My bad.
That'd be insane on the space trying to take a shower at the same time. That's crazy work.
We've been
That's
No,
there.
we
that,
don't need.
Please do not remind
Yeah,
We
us.
we
don't
done
need
been
that.
there,
Please.
done that.
Hello, can we
Let me
back to
fin
Portland's list?
Yeah, so in terms of the
Y'all
offensive
got
side of the
28 minutes.
ball, in terms of the offensive side of the ball, we saw what the Chiefs did and what they didn't do. Um, you believe that I mean, take his name away for a second because I understand it's Patrick Mahomes. Even Vinny just said that it's Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs, right? Let's take away Patrick Mahomes, the name itself. You think that he had a bigger impact on the offense than Chris Jones did on their defense just to leave Chris Jones completely off of the list
Yeah, because I don't think that
last
team
year?
makes it. Because I don't think that team makes it without him. I like people forget we and
Did you
my
look at the second? Did
justification.
you look at Did you look at a lot of their later games in the season and
No,
how
I
they
definitely looked at the
that
totality of this.
1 point, 2 point
I
win by a field goal kind of thing? You know
over
what I'm saying? You
I
know that's
looked
like
over the
defensive
whole.
stance kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, well, I looked over the totality of the season, right? And I feel like without Patrick Mahomes at the helm for that team, right? You don't get that team does not make it as far as they did. Like
Yeah,
people like
I think that
and
you
we
could
look
say the
at
same
them
thing about the
and we
helm
look
of
at them
their defense, though, and to just
Right.
leave him off the list
That
is kind
defense
of
was
and
crazy.
that's
scary.
fair. That's fair. I'm not disagreeing with
No,
y'all.
they wouldn't,
I
bro.
think
I'm
That
not
y'all are.
saying he
I
should
think
be
Patrick
y'all
left
are.
was
off the
my
list,
judge,
but I
bro.
don't know about last year though, because
Yeah, I'm
like
not
they lost
saying
their number
like
one
I'm not
option.
saying that, bro.
I'm not saying that like y'all are. I'm not saying that y'all are wrong, right? I don't have him on my list. I felt like the players that I put on there were had better seasons and had and like whether you want to say like did they have bigger impacts or whatever, that's cool. But like we're also looking at what did you do on the field as well. And I think those some of these players put better products on the field. And is that's and so like y'all are fair in having Chris Jones, and I think he definitely should be in the conversation. And I like, but I also feel like Jonathan Cooper should be in that conversation as well. He had a great season.
Okay.
I mean, I probably would have slid. I mean, Courtney Sutton don't have to be on there either over Chris Jones, respectfully.
But in that same
Wait,
token, that's like
hold
what
hell
y'all said.
on.
Yeah,
Cortland
that's
Sutton
why I
had
know
almost
Cortland
y'all
Sutton
eleven
was
didn't
hundred.
crazy.
see the whole
Cortland
game,
Sutton
Bro,
had
bro, you
almost
man.
got
1110.
time out.
He had almost
over John
1110.
over Zach Allen.
Time
I
out.
mean,
You got
Cortland
Cortland
Sutton was
Sutton on the
crazy.
list over Chris
That's
Jones?
crazy.
Y'all didn't read the whole
That
thing.
is
That's why I'm
crazy.
looking. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, hold up.
Come on, Cortland, man. Come on,
You
man.
could have moved some folks
That was
around. You know
insane.
what I'm
I
saying?
ain't gonna
Like,
hold you.
I'm cool with
Cortland
Lad
Sutton
being
is
on the list. I advocated for Lad on our own list, so I'm cool with Lad being there. But there are some folks that you
So
could have like
so like you could with
swapped
Lab
out.
being there. Hold on, you could have Lab being there, right? And I feel like we're kind of judging off of the some of the name is there, right? But and not for name recognition, and that's cool, right? I'm not shit on nobody,
I mean, in
but
terms of Lad, he
Cortland.
was literally
Nigga, you
Cortland
doing
look.
Sutton,
all that
Cortland Sutton had almost
Herbert
You
1100
had
put
at
and
most points
you
last
put
Cortland
year.
Sutton
Sutton
had
over there because he had the
1108.
same name as you.
Cortland Sutton
Don't
had
lie.
1108. Black McConkey had 1149 and seven. Like if you're gonna put one guy on there and like make that justification, you can put that same justification for Cortland Sutton, who was arguably their best receiver, and there was nobody else on that team that you can argue and say was going to be able to take that load off.
But does that make him a top 10 player
Yeah,
in
that
the
doesn't make you a top
division?
10 player.
In the division, like
Impact on
nigga,
that offense wise, I think you can argue that Bo Nix wasn't out there just doing this by himself.
yeah. But think about the overall totality of the division. Like Cortland, can you say comfortably that Cortland Sutton would be the production, the impact, and the ability like to make the 10 and leave Chris Jones off? There's no way.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then
Looking
and
at
It's
and
Chris
more
and,
than
and,
Jones,
to,
That's
and to be
wild.
honest with you, Lad was arguably probably the best receiver in that division.
and then right behind him would be who?
Probably Cortland.
I mean, you can make a defense for
Okay,
It would have been Rasheed if he wouldn't got hurt.
Or maybe
Well, I
you
and
mean, of
could,
that's
or
fair.
course.
And
maybe
I
you could
and if
say
he was
But
Jacoby
that's
if he
another
Myers.
point to make for
if he
Patrick
was
Mahomes
healthy, he
too.
was
Is
on
like,
pace to lead the league. I
yeah.
think he was on pace
yeah,
to lead the league in
What did
yards.
Jacoby
but
Myers
that's
do?
also where I give Cortland a little bit of credence with that point is because when y'all talk about the impact, like with Chris Jones on the defensive side and Mahomes lost his number one option. Xavier Worthy was a rookie. Travis Kelsey didn't seem like himself to a lot of
At
people
all this
throughout the
year.
season, right? So the impact argument could sort of kind of be made for both, if we being fair.
The left tackle position as well.
Well, yeah, that shit was like in shambles
Right,
yesterday.
and that's the reason why I think Patrick Mahomes
I
like
don't mind Mahomes being on the
he
list. I
for a
just got
second
PS2 was number
for a
one for
second
me on
season
the
in a
list.
row he for a second or third season in a row you can argue he took adversity on the chin and and said hey fuck you, went 15-1 and made it to the Super Bowl. Though they lost, he still did it, right? Like with all these things that stacked up against him, he still showed up and did what he did. And had a great season, regardless of what it looked like on the field. Like a lot of people say, oh, he didn't have a great season. Patrick Mahomes had a down season for Patrick Mahomes. Any other quarterback, we'd be talking about him as a fucking MVP candidate or saying he had a great season.
Yeah, but
Well, if he was
nobody
black from
arguing.
That's
Broward,
Nobody has
for
an
Well,
issue.
sure.
that's a
hello.
Nobody has
lie
an
right there.
issue.
Because
I mean,
I
I
I was
hear that,
told
Portland. It's just a lot of the same things you're
Number
saying.
one was
A
crazy.
lot of the same things you're saying about Mahomes, you can literally say the exact same thing about Chris Jones.
And I'm
Facts.
not, and again, I did not, I'll say it for the fourth time, not disagree with you.
Um,
like that's a lie
So how
because
does he not
I
make the
was
miss
told
though?
Rod Aaron Rodgers had a mid season a bad season last year, and him and Pat the stats was just alike. Although he threw more touchdowns, of course, Rod did.
But like I
Nigga
said,
Anthony
like I
Edwards is
mean,
selling me.
I, like I said, I went and weighed, I weighed all of the, like all of that, like all the statistics, availability, all of that. And Chris Jones was number 11. Like when because I do like when we do these lists, I don't just do top 10. Like I do like a whole like 20 players, so I can be like, did I miss somebody? Maybe I need to go back and go. Like maybe I tweak somebody, right? Move somebody out, move somebody in, right? And he was number 11. I was like, but I was like, damn, that these dudes right here, like these dudes were just like just as impactful or just as good, or like they had better seasons statistically. The statistical output was there, right? Impact was this guy has the impact argument. These guys had the statistical output that puts them in that conversation.
the ability
Yeah,
that
but
Chris Jones has year after year to shed that one ass tear every time he's in the Super Bowl should automatically make
That's
him
insane.
a top
That
10
do be
player
a
on
thick
the
ass. That
list.
do be a thick ass
That
movie tier
ability is
too.
like none other.
But
Okay,
I mean,
I'm tired of seeing the shit
my
for real,
thing
for
with
real.
Chris Jones
But
though is
fine.
like, does that defense look like that defense without Chris Jones?
hell no. My thing
And that's
is just
something that
like
we'll never know
I
because
don't
he was
think it
healthy
looks
all year.
worse.
absolutely
I
not.
don't agree with him leaving him off CeeLo, but I don't think it looks worse than the offense would look without Patrick
Oh no,
Mahomes.
no, no.
no, I
I'm
agree
not
with you,
arguing
but
putting Chris
Well,
Jones
yeah,
over Patrick
Because
saw
Mahomes.
what the
okay,
offense looked
I'm just
like.
And
saying
Vinny,
because
I'm
I'm
not
just
because
saying
arguing
in
that
Patrick
either.
CeeLo,
general.
I'm just
Mahomes.
my question
saying
is
I'm
this:
arguing Chris Jones not making the list
in
at
that same
all.
token, CeeLo, if you take Nick Bolton off that defense, you think it looks the same.
Add have as a co-host
Mhm.
with.
Yeah, I just sent an
I'm gonna
You
see
know
invite.
what
you
I'm
now.
saying?
Oh, hold on.
Like I think Nick Bolton is just as impactful on that defense because he's calling the coverage, because
Well, I don't think it's
he's
just
I
moving
as
don't
it.
think he's
impactful,
That's a
just
but
as
it's the
bonus for
impactful.
him
same.
I don't think he's
He
just as
said
impactful.
That's
as
kind
a
of cap.
downhill guy for sure.
he's important. But
When it's time
I
for him
don't
to
think
Like
he's
play,
I
all
think
star
that
level.
defense played
when
well
it's
as a
time for him to
unit.
play in space, he a liability.
Hey,
I
leave the
think
He
that
space.
defense
definitely
Like,
played
is.
close out
well
the.
and better.
Hey, hold on, y'all.
hold on,
Hey,
y'all. Hold
have
on, y'all.
close out the app completely because it just telling me that we got two co-hosts already.
Yeah. And y'all might disagree with this, right, too. But I also, when I like was weighing the impact team, I felt like that Chiefs defense played well as a unit. It wasn't just any one guy, right? Like in the past, you can say like, like in the past, like, we can say like, oh, Chris Jones was the reason why that defense was good, why that defense was great in the playoffs because of that guy. Number 95 is the reason, right? But I think that defense all year long played better as a unit. No one guy was like wrecking the game. It was multiple guys all season that were wrecking games for
I
them.
want you to go watch every third down of the Chiefs defense, and this nigga
I
virtually
watched I watched them
unstoppable.
play, brother. Like
You
you're not saying anything that's crazy
you
to me.
couldn't have
Like
because you ain't
But
had Zach Allen on your list.
I'm just thinking the Cortland Sutton making
Well,
the top 10 over some of them players
I'm
is
not saying you
crazy.
ain't watch them play, Cortland, but I will say this, right? There was a reason.
They saying that for sure.
No, no, no. There was a reason.
no, and then you say and
there
then
was
Williams keep
there
bringing up
was a
Now
Zach
you saying you
Allen.
reason.
ain't
Williams
watch
keep bringing up Zach
There was a
Allen.
reason throughout the year. I was tweeting out defensive tackles ain't impactful or
Yeah.
defensive tackles ain't
Oh
playmakers. There was a
God.
reason I was tweeting that out, and it
That
was
shit was
only because
funny
Chris
too. Because you were
Jones.
being petty too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
was
You an
being
but and then
petty
he
as
ass.
keep
shit.
bringing up
Because you an
he keep bringing
asshole.
up
That's
Zach Allen.
why.
But I can tell you why Zach Allen was impactful. Go back and look at or watch that Denver front, and then go look at how much attention Jonathan Cooper and Nick Benito were getting, and
That's
why
not
Zach
it,
Allen was
Cortland.
able to get one on
That's not
ones
it,
with a
Cortland.
guard
That's not
and
it,
shoot
Cortland.
gaps
That's not it, Cortland.
Hey,
That's not it, Cortland.
and
hey,
shoot
Vinny,
Because
gaps.
Vinny, Vinny,
he
you
was one
watch
of the most double he
you
was one of the
you
most double
did
team
you watch
defensive
the
tackles
film
in
on him, Vinny?
football.
You watch film on him
Yeah,
too,
I
right?
watched the film and I
Okay,
looked up the
okay,
stats. Yes,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Me and
I'm
Vinny
not
know
saying
what's
Zach
up.
Allen wasn't good because I
Well,
had
I
Zach
No,
just
it's
Allen
not
number
about
suggest
him not
13
being
on
I
my
good,
just
but
list.
suggest you go
you
watch some
attributing
film on him. To be honest with
you attributing Jonathan Cooper and Nick
you, yeah, he
Bonito's
called
stats
one
to
game,
them like
one
being
play.
double teamed or some shit, and that's not the case. Like Zach Allen was the one that was double teamed and freed up one on ones for them two niggas. That's why they ate the way they did. It wasn't the other way around.
Yeah, Zach Allen had like a 51% double team rate.
But again, like I don't disagree with none of y'all. Like I think, like you know, what I mean, I just like I think those are the 10 best players. In the league. That's just my opinion.
Well, Vinny says your list is gonna be controversial, and
I told y'all niggas.
well,
Niggas had an
That was
argument.
crazy.
Is Simba up on
I'll
stage?
go.
Simba, what's up, Philly? Go ahead.
Yeah. So mine is Brock Brock Bowers, Creed Humphrey,
At one?
PS2. Brock
Hold on, Brock
Bowers,
Bowers at one?
yes.
Oh, okay.
My fault. Go through your whole list.
Yeah.
Go through.
So I had Brock Bowers at one. Creed Humphrey, PS2, Quinn, I can never pronounce that nigga's last name. The guard, Chris Jones, McDuffie, Derwin, Mahomes, Nick, Bo Nix, Bonito. I almost put Allen in. I should have probably put him in over Nick Bonito, but yeah. Now I think about it, yeah, I would put Allen over him there.
That's worse than Courtland.
Can can I
Hey,
Damn,
can
tell us how
I
you really.
I
Tell us
mean
how you
it's
really feel.
DG is Philly. What do you expect? But can I
Yeah,
ask
I ain't gonna
why
lie, that
you
list is
I
definitely not
broke.
ass.
Why'd I put Bo on
how
there?
no. Well, at one.
What
No, I
up,
didn't
Nick?
put
But
Bo at
Wait,
one. I
what up,
put
Nick?
Brock
I
at
mean
one.
not Bo
Oh,
Brock at one. But no Justin Herbert. What would he rank if you did 15? Just
Justin
curious.
Herbert probably would have been right at probably 11. It was between
Oh, okay.
It was between Herbert, Benito, and Allen. And honestly, I probably only put Nix in there over Herbert because of him being a rookie and having such a good season as a rookie.
Oh, okay.
I
Hey,
gave him a little.
Elon, fix your fucking app.
You still can't bring
Wow.
Hev up.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. So Herbie don't make your list?
He would have. He would have.
Herbert went
He
on
was
a
like.
lot of people's
It
list.
was between him, Benito, and Allen. I put Benito, but it should be Allen. Now that I think about it, it should be
Hmm.
Allen. It was between
Interesting.
them three for the last spot.
Interesting.
And then yeah, I had Brock
Lou
Bowers
dropped
at
our
number.
list too, if
I
y'all
had
didn't
Brock
know.
Bowers at number one because I felt
Yeah, I
like
put our listen to Jumbo.
he just had a crazy, insane year,
Y'all list
especially as a
ass too,
rookie.
I ain't gonna hold you.
He
Especially as a
sound
rookie.
crazy.
You tripping? Our list ain't
Nah,
ass.
Our
y'all
list is
list definitely ass, bro. I'm
our
sorry.
list the
Y'all
same as
list is
yours.
ass. Nah.
You mad
What
because
was
we got
Philly
Brock
list?
Bowers at number 10?
I ain't do my list yet. But yeah, Philly, your list is ass, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What's Philly list again?
Oh,
He got go ahead, Philly.
go ahead. What do you want to?
He got
It's
Brock.
your
He
I got
got
list.
Brock.
he got Brock at number one. Oh
Brock at
God.
number one.
Hey, one.
Yeah, I feel like he had the most. He had an insane year. He had the most craziest year at all.
I mean,
But
folks had him at two. Some folks had him
I
at two.
mean,
So.
and then I had Creed
So
Humphrey at
Brock
two.
had a bet.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I had Creed Humphrey at
No, go
two.
ahead.
I'm shocked how
PS.
he
I
had this
had
insane year and
PS2 at
none of that
three.
helped him to beat us.
Okay, he ain't the only team they got to beat. Damn.
Okay. I'm just saying, bro.
Damn. This nigga is such an asshole. To these niggas say
He's such a
they
jerk.
still can't beat
How
Beater.
am I being an asshole?
That
I'm
is
stating a
what the
fact, bro.
hey.
That's a fact.
Okay, DG, we knew they weren't gonna beat y'all though. Like, come on, bro. But
But y'all
yeah,
got him as the best player in the division, and none of that. Okay, just
Yeah,
go ahead.
that's insane.
I mean,
He
Who is
wasn't
this
the best
y'all
player.
shit? Who is this y'all
Brock number
shit?
one. Okay, well, tight end
Well,
I
they
ain't,
is
got
I
some
wasn't,
of them.
I
At,
wasn't
some of
talking
them
about
got
you,
him at
Slim.
two
It's some
though.
right.
cowboys in here.
I don't think he
Well,
was the
Y'all
second best player in the
well,
What?
yeah,
division
it
last year
was.
Nobody we
either.
in it.
So yeah, heavy. Back to us. I got you real quick. Brock, Creed Humphrey, PS2, Quinn Miners, I think is how you say the last name. Doss, Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, Derwin James, Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, and then instead of Benito, it should be Josh or Jalen Allen. All right.
So you think Bo Nix had a better year than Justin Herbert?
I gave him the edge because he was a rookie
Huh?
and he had
Oh,
less.
come on, man.
I
Bro,
feel
let's
like
move
You
Nigga,
on,
that
gave
don't
him
dog.
the
even make
edge because
Can
he's
sense.
a
we
I
just
rookie.
move
gave him
on,
the
bro?
edge because he was a rookie. They
Oh,
made
he's
the
a rookie.
playoffs.
You
They
gave him the
made the
edge because he
So
playoffs.
was in
you're
a.
not giving. So
They-
you're not giving him a. You're not giving Herbert an edge because he's a vet. How
no.
Yeah,
about a little bit of
right. Like
seniority? Did he get a little bit of seniority, nigga?
he don't
Like,
get no seniority. That don't matter.
Yeah,
Nigga,
That's no
gray
hey,
hair, I
difference.
got
hey,
sorority.
that's crazy.
dang,
That's crazy. So
that's
They where?
crazy. He just didn't
That's
want y'all. Just hate y'all. Hate on
I
Herbert, bro.
mean,
I
my
don't know what
nigga,
that is.
hey,
Stop.
first of all, I'm
Stop
not the
hating on
only person.
my
First of
second
all,
QB. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not the only person who
Sorry,
didn't
babe.
have Herbert in there. Number two, Knicks had a better
You're who,
Huh?
statistical season than
Ashley?
Herbert.
You're
Huh?
who?
Bo Nix had a better statistical season than Herbert.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
now you can. Anybody say hard to hear?
Huh?
I thought that was only for playback.
But
Justin
wait, hold on,
Herbert
hold on,
had
You
hold on,
30.
hold on,
you
hold
bought
on,
that
hold on.
to
Have look,
Spaces, Ash?
have
You
Thank
don't
you,
know my
Lou.
life.
Justin Herbert had
Actually, I do. Like what?
Yeah, he had.
Justin
I got
Herbert had
Justin
100
Herbert stats
yards.
up.
He had 100 yards more than Bo Nix, and he had six less touchdowns. Bo Nix had a better completion percentage,
Hold on, you're forgetting something, my
and
brother.
then at the
Knicks had
12
nine more
interception.
interceptions than him.
Yeah, slide
You
on
forgot
past
I
that.
that,
forgot he only had
Philly.
three
You
this year.
forgot. You forgot
Slide
the
on
nine
past
extra
that, Philly.
interceptions that he
I
had.
forgot. No, I forgot he only had three this year.
Yeah,
But
Justin
that nigga
Herbert
still
had
ain't do shit.
3,800 yards,
This nigga,
23 touchdowns, and three interceptions. He
y'all
the
Hey,
quarterback
nasty,
rating of
dog. That's
101.
But
hey,
nasty.
I'm
Philly
still,
had all
hey,
the
He was
other
about to
stats, but he
slide right
forgot the
on past them
interception.
interceptions. That's crazy.
look,
He
I
was
was
about
looking
Bruh,
at the
to
top
he
slide
part.
threw
right
I
nine
past
was
more
looking.
interceptions than Justin
him. Hey,
Herbert, dog. He
yo.
threw
I was
nine more
looking at the top
picks.
part.
Like
I
what?
was looking at the top, and I didn't think Justin Herbert only had three picks this year.
Yeah,
I
he
did.
only
I
had
thought they were
three.
So
closer.
go
I
ahead
didn't
and
think
That
they
say
were
we're
boy,
three.
gonna switch
But
them
I'm
off.
still not putting. No, I'm not. I'm still putting them
He
You
points still.
wild, bro. Bo Nix did not have a
was
better
about to
year than
slide
Justin
right
Herbert.
past
You
that. You seen
wild,
that
man.
move? That's crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bo Nix,
Just
I'm still
forget,
put
just
it in
forget the
with.
12 interceptions he threw, and Herbert only had three. Just forget
Hey,
them joints.
hey, they both made the playoffs. One
Giving
is a
him
rookie.
grace
No
because
one
he's a
expected to
I
rookie.
ain't
do
gonna
shit
hold you.
this
It was
year.
some games that the Broncos lost because Bo Nix couldn't put the ball in the end zone. But that's another discussion. But I digress.
Well,
That is a fact.
They lost to the Steelers, a team that couldn't score because he couldn't put the ball in the end zone for sure.
Very true.
And he was the big reason why they lost that game, being a rookie. I'm just,
Who had a better playoff performance? Just asking. I'm not. I'm about
come
to pull
on,
it up.
man.
oh,
I'm just asking. I'm
stop.
about to pull it up.
Come
Hey,
on,
they both
man.
But
lost.
Bo
but
Nix,
Didn't the
Have you don't
Broncos
feel
get
come
like
on,
have
flooded
man.
by the Bills? Like what?
have
For
but
sure they
you
did. They
don't
got
but have
smoked.
you don't feel like in the regular season, like, of course I didn't expect him to play. I didn't expect Bo Nix to play
Oh
great
shit!
in the
Damn.
playoffs. It's a rookie. But you don't feel like that team. You feel like that team makes it to the playoffs and Bo Nix is not the quarterback.
Justin, the Chargers
Yes.
definitely don't though.
Depending on who the quarterback is, I
I
think they
mean,
still make the
the
playoffs.
Chargers definitely
Yeah,
don't
but
make the playoffs
I
I
without
think
heard
Herbert
they'll
that
make the
either.
Sean
playoffs.
Payton could have did
So,
it regardless, and because of their defense. Yeah, if you put another quarterback in the
I'm about
but
to
I
say
game,
I
think
don't
that's
think.
crazy to say, like,
There's other
depending on who
quarterbacks
the
you could put
quarterback
there and
is.
they still would make the playoffs. There's other quarterbacks
Because
you could put there.
who was the backup quarterback there like this year?
If you put Sam Darnold on that
Where
Broncos team, they make
with
the
the
playoffs.
Broncos? Wasn't it,
Yeah, who was the backup
wasn't
quarterback?
it your it was Zach Allen and somebody else. Not Zach Allen, Zach Wilson and somebody else. Matter of fact,
So
Yeah,
Zach
it
Zach
Wilson
was
was
it
Wilson.
was it
Yeah,
was
so
Jared
swap
Stidham.
out
Jared Stidham.
so so who?
Jared
Jared
Stidham and
Stidham.
Zach
yeah,
And
Zach
Wilson.
Zach
Wilson.
Wilson. But I
yeah,
think
you
Zach
Okay,
was the
true.
backup.
so if Jared Stidham or Zach Wilson play quarterback in that or for that Broncos
Hey,
team, they
I
make it
ain't
to the playoffs.
Cortland.
No,
Possibly.
Probably not.
but I'll
Probably
tell you
not.
this:
But I
if
was about to
Sam
say
Darnold was
Justin
the
Herbert.
quarterback, they make the
I was
playoffs.
about to say if
But
you
you
would
can't
take
do
out
that. We
Justin
can't do that. We
Herbert
can't.
though.
Oh, if Sam Darnold was
Yeah,
I
because Sam
just
but
Darnold
said,
wasn't.
but
Cortland.
what I said from the beginning, Cortland,
But
that I said
Cortland.
there's other quarterbacks you could put on that team and
The
they'll make
only
the
If
issue with
playoffs.
that
hold
is,
on,
That's what I
Cortland, hold
said
even
on,
from the
though I
Cortland.
jump.
agree with
If you
you
talking
that
about
Bo
if
Nix
you
should
talking
be
about one of those
the
guys starting the entire year and working under Sean the entire year, coupled with that defense, I'm not gonna say that that's not a possibility.
I don't
Maybe
think
they
Hey,
that's
and
can
I'm
make
telling
it.
y'all right
I
now,
I
think
you
don't
it's
got
think
definitely
10
a
minutes.
anybody
possibility.
I don't
Maybe.
think any
Nigga,
of
we
them
had Mac. We
backups
had Mac Jones with the number one defense in the league, and we made the playoffs.
I
Of
don't think
course,
any of
you
them
saw what happened.
Bro,
backups
right, man. Mac Jones was he was
LA.
regular degular that year, and they made the
Yeah,
playoffs.
facts.
Look, I had Bo Nix in there, but Justin Herbert not being the starting quarterback of the Chargers, they definitely ain't making no fucking playoffs. So that
That's
that
what I'm
argument
Oh
saying.
yeah,
that
yeah.
argument doesn't
That
really
shit done.
hold a lot of weight. I'm not gonna hold you.
You put Bo Nix on the Chargers, I don't think they make the playoffs.
Probably not.
They was heavy running the ball too, though. J.K. Dobbins had
Yeah,
a
until he got
solid. I
hurt
think he
too.
got hurt,
He
but
got
yeah,
hurt.
but he
Well,
had
I
a
mean,
He
solid
got
year.
hurt.
y'all see who the
Yeah.
OC is over there?
Yeah, Greg Roman.
Yeah.
What's up, Spodioti?
Oh, nothing. I got my list in the jumbo.
Yeah, we see that trash list.
I ain't gonna lie, it's way better than y'all list. I'm sorry.
Trash ass list.
Um,
No, that's cap. I ain't gonna cap.
y'all niggas got Brock Bowers at fucking 10.
And nigga, you got
That's
Patrick
crazy.
Mahomes
Bro,
at 8.
explain it.
Yeah, I
You
got
got
Pat
You
at
got
8.
We got
Mahomes
Hold
at
on,
What
hold
eight
you
on,
though,
hold
talking
on.
Spody.
about?
We
Hold
got
on, hold
Brock
on.
Bowers at
So
seven,
Bad
but
for
listen.
you got
bad.
Mahomes at
Bad
eight.
for
So
bad.
hold on. Let me at least explain myself. First of all, my My first five players were literally considered the best player at their position. Argue with a wall. Literally, all five of those guys were first team All Pro. Then I got Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. The only reason Justin Herbert is over Patrick Mahomes is because he took better care of the ball,
Yeah,
which
I
I
like that.
feel
I
is
like that pick there.
impactful. I feel like that speaks to impact. So for me, and then Nick Benito put up 13 and a half fucking sacks. In my opinion, he was the more productive pass rusher in the AFC West last season. And then Max Crosby, 12 games, 7.5 sacks. I literally was watching this nigga like shut niggas down on third down, still doing him with no help because Christian Wilkins got hurt. So like I mean, I don't see the problem with my list, especially considering the first five players literally were considered the best player at their position. I probably would only change on my list is PS2 at one and Chris Jones at two and PS2 at one because he was DPOY. That is the one
I,
thing I probably should have changed.
I'll say this: the only person I would put over Patrick Mahomes is PS2. But since we're talking impact, the Chiefs don't make the Super Bowl. 15 is not at quarterback.
Well,
I don't
I
care
could say
what you say.
so.
You could talk about them interceptions all you want. They don't get to the Super Bowl without him at quarterback.
We don't go 15 and
Yeah,
They don't
one,
so
go
man.
that's
15
why.
and
What the
one
But
without
hell?
15 at
What
but
we
quarterback,
but
dog.
doing,
that's
bro?
why he's on the list.
They
And
probably go
impact was not
undefeated
y'all only criteria.
if
Like
he even played the last
the
game.
impact production, the whole nine was there. So the same thing y'all saying for Patrick Mahomes, you also just made that argument about taking Justin Herbert off the Chargers that they don't make the playoffs. So both of them, in my opinion, deserve to be on the list. But neither one of them was considered the best at their position last year. Neither one of them. But the top five guys were. Like, I don't see where the argument or the disconnect is. Like, you said rank them as the best players, and they were literally considered the best players at their position. They
Well,
deserve to be in the top five spots. After
well,
that, like I said, with Justin Herbert, like I really now, if you want to say I probably should put Lab McConkey behind Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, I won't disagree with you
absolutely.
there. I won't disagree with that. I probably got him a little higher, but I did feel like his impact for the Chargers as a rookie was a very big deal. Considering they don't have no other fucking wide receivers to
Yeah, I
throw
was
the
about
ball
to
to.
say that that's why I wouldn't have them niggas, or at least probably Herbert above him. Like, who the fuck else would he have been throwing the ball to? Josh
Yeah,
Palmer?
but I'm not mad at nobody saying, well, Patrick Mahomes' impact should have him,
Well, I'm not talking about Mahomes.
above the wide receiver. I'm not tripping. Like, you tell me put Justin Herbert and Pat over Lad, I have no disagreement. But to tell me that they deserve to be over the five guys who was considered the best player at their position, I just can't. I can't. Based off y'all criteria.
Well, I mean, the criteria, that's fine to use. But, I mean, if you look at Mahomes' stats, he had 39, 28, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. That's not a bad year at all.
No,
That's a
that's
really
not a
good
bad
year.
year. That's why I
So,
consider him top 10 in the
Y'all gotta
also,
get
league.
the Chiefs were in a lot of tight games this year. And Mahomes made a lot of
A lot of
plays.
game winning
He made a
drives.
lot of game-winning drives for them
Yeah,
to
that
win
nigga
those games,
definitely
dog.
make them back breaking plays
He
on
made those
late in the
back-breaking
game.
plays late in the game to win them those games. Like DG said, they don't go 15 and one if they don't got 15 at quarterback.
No, I don't disagree
That
with you,
cannot
but
be ignored.
but I didn't ignore that. Like literally, like I agree with you on that. I'm just saying, based on what the
All right,
criteria
so Slody,
is,
let me ask you, because when
the
we talk about the criteria, I love doing process of elimination, right? So
yes,
your top five, six, your top six guys, because you got Mahomes at
no,
seven,
the
right?
top five. Well, yeah, the top five.
You have
So,
him at
like I
seven or
said,
eight.
I got Mahomes at 8. Now, I
Okay,
don't mind.
okay,
Like I said,
okay.
I don't mind nobody telling me that they should be over Lad McConkey. Like, I'm not
No, no,
tripping
no,
off
no,
of that.
no. I'm just saying because you're right. It's not just about impact. You feel like those top eight individuals are more skillful than Mahomes because the
More,
production is there for him. He had production. It's not what we are
more
expecting from
skillful.
Mahomes, but it's production. Do you feel like that they're more skilled? We all don't believe that they were more impactful simply because again the Chiefs were 15 and one. They did make it to the Super Bowl. So I
So
like to do
no, here's
process
my
of
thing.
elimination here when we're talking about this criteria.
Okay, so perfect.
That's
Let me
crazy
go
because
ahead
y'all
and lay
killed me
out.
for all
Let
pros.
me go ahead and lay something out for you right now. The
I'm
same
listening.
way we just talked about taking Patrick Mahomes off the Chiefs and them not making the Super Bowl, we also said the same thing for Chris Jones. And you didn't say if you lose Chris Jones and Mahomes, it was if you lose Pat Mahomes. No mention of Chris Jones. And then if you remove Chris Jones, no mention of Pat Mahomes. There's multiple players on that team, two of some of the best players and most skilled players on that team. No question about it.
Come on, Namora.
But again, I won't disagree with you if you telling me to put Pat Mahomes over Lad McConkey, if you telling me to put him over the five guys who were considered the best at their position across the league when this is strictly about the division, I don't see how I'm supposed to consider anybody else over them. Not only that, like if we talk about production, the production from PS2 is on the tape. The production from Brock
Oh, I
Bowers
think PS2
is
should be number one. So I'm with you
Yeah, I'm
there.
not arguing
so with
PS2.
Brock
I'm not
If you
So
arguing
got
either.
PS2 at one, I'm cool with that. I'm
So
not
Pat
arguing him.
Mahomes produced as well, and like he is the most productive player on his team. However, like I'm not gonna sit here and act like Brock Bowers didn't do what he did in the rookie year. And again, he was all pro, first team, the best tight end in the league. That automatically shoe ins for me. Like if it's not a knock on Pat Mahomes, bro. If these niggas was not considered the best players at their position, then they would not be all well. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have Creed Humphrey or Quinn over Pat, but Quinn was literally a fucking brick wall all season, every game he played.
Okay.
He hands down the best guard. Like it's not even a question.
I will say, all them people that you got, majority of them did what they did, and they still were losing games. The guy that was helping his team win a lot of games when it
It's
was
only
tight
two
was
players,
15.
but it's only two players
Brock
that
Bowers did what he did, and they still were losing
yeah,
games.
but it's only two players that you can say that for. What about the other five that's ahead of him? You
I
can't
mean,
say
okay,
that for them because they
let's be
all
honest.
won.
Let's be honest, Spody. If it was, if you had a choice between Chris Jones or Patrick Mahomes, who you taking? If you only could pick one,
Wait, what do
Pick
you
Big
mean? Like, am I
baby.
making a team or
yeah.
bringing them to
If
my
Do I got a
team?
quarterback already?
Yeah,
you
because I
no,
already
no,
got a
you don't
quarterback.
have a
No,
That's what
nigga,
I'm
you
quarterback.
trying to
starting.
understand.
No, you don't. You don't have a quarterback, and you don't have an elite defensive tackle. You only got pick Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones. Who you taking?
I mean, honestly, it depends on the rest of my team build, but I
Yeah,
mean,
and
the
listen,
starter
and
team.
Nigga, you
that's
If
fine.
you
I
starting the
don't
don't,
have a
team.
Bro,
quarterback,
He
y'all.
literally
I don't
ah,
said
feel
this
like
can't
starting
that.
be.
right
Wait,
Hey,
now.
no,
dog,
Y'all
y'all
I
are
ain't,
starting.
Hey man,
crazy,
y'all
dog.
trying to
honestly,
move the
wait,
needle
yeah,
like a
I don't
Y'all
feel
motorcycle,
like
acting
bro.
that's a fair
crazy,
I'm
No
still
dog.
question,
cap.
taking
bro.
I'm taking Patrick
Pat.
You
Mahomes.
gotta look
I,
at the rest of
Yeah,
no
your
cap.
team.
I'm
I'm
still
taking Patrick
taking
hold on.
Mahomes.
I
You
Pat.
don't
ain't
feel
got no
like that's a
quarterback, and
fair.
you got to
Wait,
look at the rest of your team. Like
I
what?
don't
You don't
feel
have a
like
Nah,
that's
quarterback.
a wait. I don't feel like that's a fair question because right now Chris Jones is what 31 years old and Patrick Mahomes is how old?
Sporty, we could talk about both of them in their primes. If you got Chris Jones in his prime and Mahomes in his prime, you don't have a quarterback. You don't have an elite defensive tackle. Who you taking?
Ah.
Maybe this is just a question, y'all. This is just a
There's
question.
only
Belichick,
one Patrick
Belichick
Mahomes,
taking the
man.
tackle.
Yeah, give me
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah,
dog.
I'm probably taking the
Like,
quarterback, but that's because of the
I'm
position.
roll
That's
I'm
because of the position, in my
Also,
roll
because
opinion.
defensive tackles are
I ain't
not
rolling with
playmakers.
Mahomes.
like
It's
Chris
just you
Jones,
talking
you
about
ain't gonna
somebody
find a
that
lot of
people.
Chris Jones is like few or many. Like you ain't gonna find too many Chris Jones.
Exactly, but
I'm
I
not. I'm
gotta
not
take
gonna
the
find. But
quarterback
I'm
because
not
of the
gonna find too
position,
many.
bro. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna find too many Chris Jones, but I'm damn sure not finding no motherfucking
Oh,
Exactly,
Patrick
Vinny.
Mahomes, dog.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're not gonna find too many Patrick
I
Mahomes.
can't relate.
So
Who?
I will
Who?
say
You're
Who
a
you can
How
hater.
find,
can you not
Ashley? Hold on,
relate?
Ham.
You're a
Hold
hater,
on.
bro.
Who you can
Cause I
find,
had
Ash?
cause I was riding with the GOAT for 22 years, so I can't relate. Y'all
Wow,
can.
Oh
such a
Bro,
wow.
Y'all can relate.
your quarterback for
Y'all
your
can
team is not
relate.
the
But I
GOAT.
you
was
got
riding with a GOAT
you
for
got it. You
22
why are
got
you
years.
such
So
a
I don't know what
why are
y'all
you
talking
such
about.
a
I
you
don't know what
hater?
that
you
look
got
like.
you got. We not talking about. You
You're
got
a
to
I
talk
did,
about
but they
number
Cowboys
but they
fan.
four.
jumped me. They
You
jumped
got
me.
to talk about number
They
four.
was jumping
Brady's
me.
retired. Brady's retired. You got to talk about number
I
four.
knew
All
I
right.
should have put Brady in that
Brady's
damn
retired.
You're a
matter of fact,
Cowboys
he was the
fan.
Can
first
I
one I
Yeah,
would
ask?
have
like
picked.
Brady not here no
All
more.
right.
Hey, so
All
I
I'm
And
got a
saying
and
is
hurry
question.
and
all I
hurry up
said was
because
I can't. All I said was I can't relate, and y'all jumped me. They jumped me,
you
but it's
you
cool.
can
How you
you
can't
can
relate?
relate
But
because
I
What?
you can
cannot.
relate
I
because Brady
can't
was
because
not
I
your
have a
quarterback of
goal.
your
I
team.
have a somebody. I have a
Bro, that man
somebody
do
that
not
I'm
know you,
damn sure
bro.
not finding another of. I have a somebody like that, so I can't relate.
Who Ash? Who
Tom
Ashley?
Brady.
Well, to be
He
fair,
was
honey,
not the quarterback of your team,
yeah,
so
he
you
wasn't the
can relate.
quarterback of the Cowboys,
Oh,
so
so
you
you a Patriots
can't, so
fan
you
now?
can relate. You
Yo,
can't,
don't. First of all,
you can't
First
use
of
him.
all, don't ever play with me like that. I said what I said, and y'all know me enough to know. Damn a Dallas, okay? Tom Brady forever. Y'all can go to hell.
You're
What the
disgusting.
hell y'all talking about? Y'all
All
sound
right,
crazy.
hurry up. We gotta
My
wrap
bad.
this
My
up.
bad.
We
My bad. My
1 minute
bad.
over 7:30.
Damn, Lou.
Yeah. We getting out of
Yeah,
here.
I
I got
told him
shit
to
to
be on a
do.
tight
Um,
schedule. Be on a tight schedule. Okay, so all right, Spody,
can
fine.
I go?
I
I'll
get
go
why
for it.
Spody did what she did. If they wasn't all pro at best of their position, they wouldn't have made the list. Even though that's not our criteria.
Nah, yeah, and I wasn't
Mosey,
saying they
Hurdle, the
wouldn't make the
criteria up
list
in
either
there is
though.
cool.
I said I wouldn't have them higher than Pat.
Right, right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Well,
Uh,
because you can you're asking us to rank the best player. That right there alone automatically forces me to look at these niggas all pros. Like I can't dismiss that because
but
you're
all can I
asking
ask
for
you a
the best
question?
players.
And y'all
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. Um, all pros are is that just production only?
Nah, that's
Well,
not just
for you to
production.
make first team All Pro, your production has to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a double criteria that you added on there.
Y'all killed me for
I
the
didn't
All
add, what do
Pro
you
with the
mean?
NFC East.
Impact.
That's
I think
crazy.
impact, like,
I'm
I
asking what
can't.
makes an all pro, and y'all are telling me that it's their production.
Yeah, it's
It's
really off your
definitely gonna
production
be
for you to
production.
make
Yeah,
your
production
yeah
for
for you to
And,
make
sure.
and,
first team All Pro. It
and-
has to be
Production
your
was a
production.
part of y'all criteria.
It
right.
was,
I got killed
Yeah.
but
for finishing in All
I don't
Pros.
think
That's
Brock
crazy.
Powers' impact was bigger than Mahomes' either though.
So I say that to say it's almost like you just kind of double whammy the production. Like production stands out to you more than the other ones do because
Facts,
that was your other criteria in terms of how you rank them because they made all pro.
facts.
When one of our criteria is already what all pro is, which is production.
Well, no, it's not just that because all pro is not simply just production. All pro is
That's why I'm
literally,
asking. I really don't know.
no, in the NFL, all pros are considered the best players at their position.
And then I mean, and
Yeah,
then
but
And
also,
it
for
ain't
you to
just
get
production.
considered
They
that,
look
it's
at
off your
impact as
production.
well.
but
They
then
look at
also
impact as well, bro.
when you're looking at that too, and as far as these lists, while yeah, production is part of the criteria, whatever,
Hmm.
but like when players are so close, then you got to find something that separates them,
That's fine.
and usually it's the accolades that separate them from being ranked higher or lower.
Yeah, absolutely. But for them to be ranked first team All Pro, your production plays a huge part on why you
Yeah,
get
Yeah, I
yeah,
just
for
nominated.
wondered
sure.
Yeah,
what
but your
all pro
impact
was.
also,
You know what
they
I'm saying?
weigh in
Like
your impact with that as well, bro. Like impact on your team, on your side of the ball is also considered when they consider
make
you
you
for
all
all pro.
pro.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not just what your numbers look like because you got niggas that have literally put up higher numbers and did not get the all pro. Another nigga might have got it, but they probably were more impactful to their team. Like I'm saying, like I
Wasn't it
get.
somebody that they felt like should have been all pro? Was it a quarterback or something last year that people was mad that didn't get all pro or that they did? Was it or the year before?
Some people felt like Zach Bond should have been over Fred Warner.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a bunch of
for first
players
team,
every single year. There's players that they feel that
No.
should have been
I
all
know
pro.
Andrew Thomas
Yeah,
one of them years. It was a popularity contest at that point.
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes like the All Pro thing is, trust me, your name can get you an All Pro too.
yeah.
It
Because
ain't it.
it's just like
Facts.
with the Pro Bowl, and because it's all media voting and shit like that.
Pro
So
Bowl is
like,
definitely a popularity
Yeah,
yeah,
contest.
but
Pro Bowl is
Brock
Voting
definitely a
Bowers
contest.
is not
popularity.
Yeah,
Brock
so that's why
Bowers
I
is
don't even
not
use
getting
Pro
a
Bowls
name
no more.
recognition pro. I
Like
mean,
Pro
oh yeah,
Bowls,
Pro Bowl,
I
yeah,
would say
nah.
Pro Bowls in like the early, like the 2000s era Pro Bowls, they meant more because it really became off your production and your impact on why you made the Pro Bowl. Now it's definitely your name
Yeah,
popularity contest with the
and
Pro Bowl.
that's kind of where all pro going a little bit, but
Yeah, All Pro is
it's
Yep,
definitely
still
leaning
it's
that
definitely
way.
going.
It's
yeah,
We
it's
definitely
saw
still
leaning
based
that
off of
way.
your production
we
and
saw
stuff.
with Brock Bowers and George Kittle. It's nowhere in here he should have got first team All Pro over George.
No, of course not. But they gave it to him.
What? How?
I mean,
Look at
George does way more in the field than Brock
way
Bowers
more
does. He
and
does way
and George
more.
Kittle damn near a six lineman.
Kittle's an elite run blocker. He's an elite, like by far.
Yeah,
And
like if you looking at impact and production, Kittle should have been
George
first
Kittle
team
is
over
way
Brock
more
Bowers.
impactful than Brock Bowers. When
Yeah,
Kittle
that's a
is not on
fact.
the field, our offense does not look the same at all when Kittle's off the field.
Well, I
Y'all
had
didn't,
both
and
of
then
them
plus
high on
y'all
my
didn't.
list, so I mean, I had George Kittle at two, so I don't have
But
to
what the fuck
disagree.
would the Raiders' offense look like without Brock Bowers in
I
general?
Yeah,
mean, had
Jacoby
another
Myers.
1,000 yard
Jacoby
receiver.
Myers still had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, but that was Jacoby Myers' best year in his career, and that was
I
with
will
Yeah,
Brock
say
Bowers.
He
this,
did that
Vinny.
shit with
They
Gardner
offense.
Minshew, bro. Y'all got me fucked up.
No,
he
but
missed two
but
games too.
hold on. We can't say that because if you look back at the year before when they had what 4 or 5 different quarterbacks starting, they offense really looked the same as it looked
It
in
did. It really
2023
It still
did.
as it
looked
looked in
bad.
2024. Their offense
Their
still looked
offense
bad
really
even
was
with Brock
bad.
Bowers,
Yeah,
And they
but
didn't
Brock
have
Bowers was the
2,000 yard
engine that
pass
made that
catchers
offense
neither.
go.
yeah. He just was the
Yeah,
bright spot.
that's what I'm saying, Silu. Like the only bright spot in the offense is Brock Bowers.
Well, Brock and Jacoby. Them
Well,
was the two.
I'm
Was the two.
attributing Jacoby's year to Brock Bowers.
I don't know because Jacoby played well that 2023 year too.
Yeah, but
But that's what
playing
I'm
well,
just
and
saying. I'm just
this was
saying
his
like,
best year. Like this
yeah,
is his
I'm just
first year
saying
putting
like
up 1,000.
their offense isn't good in general. Like their offense looked like shit this year for the most part of the year, and that's why like niggas be like, okay, y'all might as well just go trade some of these niggas y'all got on offense because y'all ain't really doing shit with them.
Yeah,
So
but
I
that's what
mean
I'm saying.
their
He the
offense is
only bright
ass
spot.
both years. But yeah,
Yeah, but
he's a bright spot for sure. He's the
the
bright
only
spot for
bright
sure.
spot and the only good thing about that offense is Brock Bowers. That's what I'm saying. What would that offense be without Brock Bowers?
I think it honestly would have been the same, in my
There's no
opinion.
way you taking away like 1,100 plus
I mean,
yards.
Jacoby
You taking
Myers
away a
probably
lot of
would have had
explosive
more
plays.
yards. That thing.
He would not have had more yards if Brock
If you
Bowers was
take
I
out
bro,
think
there.
he
why
would
not?
He
have
would have had more
because
targets.
Because
He
he
would have
been
had
nah,
getting,
less.
bruh.
nah.
He
He's
was the
not getting a
main
thousand.
You said
target
He's
last
without
not
year.
getting a
That
thousand
But
brought
hold
yards
him
on,
without
but
Brock
that
hold
many
Bowers.
on,
yards.
so that's what I'm saying too, right? Because what Devontae Adams was there for part of the year, right?
yeah,
This
no,
Yeah, he
year
not
was.
last
before
He
he
year.
got
played
traded to
three
the
And
Jets.
games.
Adams
He
was
played
there.
three
He
games.
played 3
Yeah,
Yeah,
games.
and
Devontae
then, but I'm
Adams.
saying if you look back at last year, Devontae Adams balled out in 2023. So I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm saying like if you take away Brock Bowers and let's say you kept Devontae Adams, you still gonna have that one player that just went fucking crazy.
Facts.
Yeah, but that's my point. Like Devonte Adams was the only bright spot. He was the only thing of the offense. Same thing now with Brock Bowers. People will say Jacoby Myers. This was Jacoby Myers' best year. Maybe not from a touchdown
It was his
standpoint, but
best year
from a
yards wise,
yeah,
yeah,
but
but from
yards
touchdown wise, he
wise for
had more
sure.
a
touchdowns
term of
last year.
yardage, that's what I
Yeah,
was saying. Like in
Yeah.
terms of
and
yardage,
he
this was his best year.
and he missed 2 games. That's the crazy part. So he might have would have finished with more yardage than Brock Bowers.
If Brock Bowers is playing.
Well, yeah, yeah, that's understandable.
If Jacoby Myers plays that entire season without Brock Bowers, I do not think he touches 1,000 yards. If they don't have any other receiving option, there's no Devontae Adams,
Yeah,
there's no Brock Bowers. I don't think he touches 1,000 yards.
I agree with
But I
that.
mean, I don't know because the
To
year
an
before they
extent.
had Devontae Adams and he didn't touch 1,000 yards. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
that's
just
my
know their
Well,
point.
offense.
I
I just know
mean,
that. But what
That's
I'm
his
saying is, I
point.
just know their offense was ass both
but
years.
yeah, coming.
Yo,
He played for us, so he
Yo.
produced. He produced with
I
trash
will s-
around him.
I
So
will say Jacoby Myers is a pretty solid player,
yeah,
and
he is.
even if Brock Bowers wasn't there, somebody would have had to get those targets. Who else
Yeah,
was
but
going to
And,
get those targets?
If Darius Slayton played for the Raiders and Darius Slayton broke 1,000 yards for the first year of his fucking career, he's a solid nigga too. But I'm not gonna be like the nigga hit 1,000 yards and he could have got it without fucking Brock Bowers. To me, it would have been obvious that he got it with the help of Brock Bowers.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I think this year was probably their most consistent quarterback play too. So I mean,
That is true.
it's just a bunch of other factors that went into that too. Like last year, it was Aiden O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brian Hoyer, and then this past year, Gardner Minshew was probably more consistent than all them niggas. So
Damn,
like,
see Lou giving Garner credit.
hey, can I ask this
Somebody
question?
clip this.
Nigga, that nigga, hey, Minshew's
I mean,
ass
he's
up.
still ass. I'm just
He's
saying,
Oh,
like,
ass
he was
okay,
up.
there
probably
you
the most
go. That's
consistent
the
out of
same
all of
brother.
them. But
He the
like,
most consistent ass player they had. Let's just put it
yeah,
that
so
way.
I mean
Yeah,
that's what I'm
he
saying. Like
was.
there's a lot of shit to go into that too. So I mean, yeah, it could have been a Brock Bowers effect, but
Can I
again, they
ask
had more consistent quarterback play this year
why
too. So like,
why'd
but
y'all
they
have him
in their
playing
offense
again?
was still trash.
Yeah, but I'm about to say, even with the consistent quarterback play, I would still like say or stand with the same point of it being Brock Bowers. You know what I'm saying? Like the consistent quarterback play helps, but if you have the consistent quarterback play, you don't have Brock Bowers, and Jacoby Myers is the best receiving option, and he sees every single
But I
bit of
think
coverage that runs his way. I don't
I
think
mean,
Jacoby Myers touches a
he been
thousand.
used to that for the last
So
because with us he was our best
what
receiving
I was
option.
about to say, what did he
So
do in New
Yeah, but
England? That's what I
nigga,
was about to ask. What did he
nobody
do
gave a
in New
fuck
England?
about him. That's the
but I'm
point.
saying
What
That's
he
did
why
was
he
he
never
do
doing
in
cracked
New
a
England?
thousand.
yeah.
Did
I
he
mean,
crack 1,000 in New England or no?
No,
no,
this
he
is his
never
no,
first
he
year
he
never
cracking a
cracked.
thousand. He's had
Oh
high
yeah,
touchdown
then
numbers. He's
then
had high touchdown
I'm
numbers,
kind of
He
with
was
his
the
side
focal
but
point
then.
he's
of
never
our
cracked a
offense pretty
thousand.
much,
I'm
because
kind
he
of
was
rocking with Vinny there then, because if you don't have 1,000 yards
Yeah,
ever
but even
until
then, Wizard Kelly,
he
nobody
was the
like. I'm
down
not
and
saying
down guy.
nobody. I'm about
Well,
to
he was the
say
money guy, I
definitely
meant.
down the down guy, but I'm not. I don't think when teams is playing
damn
the
OKC
Patriots, because then
whooping
y'all
their
have
ass.
John Smith and Hunter Henry that year, but
Yeah,
Hunter Henry got
that
hurt.
21. That was 21.
Yeah,
Twenty.
I don't. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think that everybody was like, "Yo, we going to play the Patriots. We got to shade all the coverage to
Yeah,
Jacoby Myers." You
yeah,
get what I'm
definitely.
saying?
I mean, but
And
they
that's
they
more so
did
the
double
form
him a
of.
lot though, because that's why our passing
But
offense
y'all
was
really
fucking
had
horrible.
Okay.
Sevy, y'all. I mean, at 10 for Brock Bowers, I thought was a little crazy. But how? Why did Pat get number one for y'all?
I mean, like I said, if you had only person that I would have put
Mm.
over
That's
Pat
based
was
strictly off
PS2.
impact. Gotta be.
Was
You know what I
PS2?
mean? And
Okay.
the impact is huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I said, they were in
No,
a
no, no.
lot
I'm
of
just
tight
asking. I'm not
games.
saying it's a bad. I'm not saying it's a
I
terrible
mean,
decision. I'm
well,
asking why.
for one, he's he's a huge reason why they went to the Super Bowl. He's a huge
Hmm.
reason why they won 15 games. They were in a lot of tight games, and
Hmm.
he was the reason why they was able to get out of a lot of those games during the
Okay.
season. You know, so like I said, the only person, in my opinion, that I felt like would have went over Mahomes is Patrick Surtain.
Yeah. And
That's
then
the only other person I wouldn't have an argument with.
my other
I like
question
to
is: do
just
you
make an
think like
announcement
y'all?
real quick. Uh,
Now, my wife, on the other hand,
I like to
Yeah.
make an announcement real quick.
Uh,
Timberwolves are ass.
yeah. Oh yeah. They can ask me.
it's
Yeah.
Um.
over. I cut
Yeah.
the
I cut
game
the
They
off.
game
I
off
stopped
can't.
at
watching.
halftime.
Yeah.
I cut
Yeah,
it
I
off
stopped
at
watching.
halftime.
Phelps
I cut it off
Phelps
at halftime.
got ass completely.
But real
Ant
quick,
Phelps
might
got
here
have
ass.
for the whole summer.
have do you think that y'all missed y'all could replace somebody for Quinn? I can never pronounce that nigga last name. The guard for Denver.
Replace him for who though?
I'm asking, do you think that there was somebody on there y'all could replace him with, or do you just feel like that top 10 is solid? Like
I mean,
it's just, or
he
did you
had he
forget
had an
about him type
amazing
thing, or
year.
that's what I'm asking?
I honestly forgot about him until y'all
Mhm.
brought him to my attention.
Okay.
Um, but looking at our list, I don't.
I would say just based off the end of it, maybe Lad, because Quinn was a number
I
one All
don't want to
Pro.
take. He was, but I don't want to take Lad off because somebody else mentioned earlier, like Lad was
No,
all who Herbert had to
he
throw the
was
ball to.
nice.
It
Yeah,
was Lad or nothing for
no,
them
I feel you.
offensively, throwing the ball wise. So, and Lad had a great year for a rookie.
I
So
feel you.
I definitely want to get Lad to get his flowers. I don't know who else we could take him off for.
I mean, the only people that I mean, Max, I think I had Max is the kind of the same thing where I did with Dexter Lawrence was, even though, yes, they were heavily impactful, but they barely made it with the 12 games. And then there were just some all pros that were, to me, would have had a more impact. But those would probably be the only two I would think I could replace for Quinn.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, we about
Fair
to go
He
to
take.
was y'all mind if I
He
run through
wasn't
my list
better than
real quick?
Creed, but that's okay.
Who?
we about to go to Simba, and after
Wait,
Simba,
who?
we are
Wait, who said that?
wrapping up.
All
DG
right,
said
bet.
that. DG said that.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
said,
didn't say
yeah,
he
I
was
said
better
that.
than Creed ahead of him. I had Creed as my number two in my top 10.
Okay.
I was like, I didn't
Uh,
have him ahead of
I
Creed.
got I got PS2, Patrick, uh, Chris Jones, Matt Crosby, Brock Bowers, Creed Humphrey, Nick Ladino, Trent McDuffie, Darren James, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, see,
I ain't kind of hear that
yeah,
again.
I could
Who
barely
who
hear
you
you. I could
say?
only hear like three names. You're kind of low, DG.
No, wait, that was me. Y'all can hear me?
Now I can hear you. Whoever that was. I thought that was DG. My bad. Simba, you were low.
Oh,
That's
can
Big
y'all,
Simba, man. Call him Big Simba.
can y'all,
Never in my
can y'all
life.
don't call
Never in
me
my
that.
life.
Can y'all make them? Hold on. Okay, Patrick Surtain, Patrick Mahomes, Chris John. I was about to say Chris Johnson, Chris Jones, Max Crosby, Brock Bowers, Creed Humphrey, Nick Bedino, Trent McDuffie, Derwin James, Justin Herbert. That's it.
I'm not mad at
I
that.
I ain't hear that the ninth person. I keep like I don't
You
know
were
why I ain't hear
no,
it.
he was cutting out.
I
You
went
were getting a little
Trent
low.
Derwin James.
Derwin
And
Derwin
then
James.
James.
and
Derwin.
then
Okay.
Justin Herbert.
That's another
Justin Herbert
person
was
I feel
tenth.
like people kind of forget
You
about.
had Creed. You had Creed Humphrey on the list.
I had Creed at six.
Okay, not a bad list. Not bad at all.
Damn, mine's was bad. Actually, y'all crazy. Go ahead.
I actually rushed through this. I had things to do today. So I was rushing through a lot. I was rushing through these lists.
All right. Well, since there's no pushback on his list, we are going to wrap this shit up.
Good ball talk tonight, folks. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Over this was good. These I didn't think that these, Levitas Sports After Dark family, y'all gonna make some conversation. We gonna
I'm about to
talk, man.
start removing niggas from speakers so I can take my people off mute.
We gonna have conversation. I can always appreciate y'all. Sometimes
Why does Philly have his hand up?
just ignore them. Pretend like you don't see them. But we
No.
appreciate y'all tapping in. Everybody over on Playback YouTube, thank y'all for tapping in. We back next Wednesday with the next two divisions.
What the hell are you eating?
Nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Hollywood. Nothing. um, yeah. So we appreciate y'all. Be back next week. We're gonna spin the wheel. We'll let y'all know what the next two divisions are. We only got four divisions left, right? We did two, and we
We
gave four,
did
so we
we
got four
did
more
for
left.
yeah,
Yeah.
we only got for 11.
So
2 more weeks of this shit. Hollywood
dang,
Hollywood got something to
Minnesota
say.
really got smoked. This is horrible. My bad.
What up, Hollywood?
I thought y'all was asking questions and I was on mute. I'm like, what?
Yeah, unhand my mic,
Yeah.
nigga.
The fuck?
Hey, wait, I had a
That's
quick
what
What?
That
question.
was
Are
that was
y'all
Why?
rude.
gonna
That
Why
was
do?
you still
rude.
Hey,
up here?
hey,
that's why I
serious. I
had
had
it.
a
That's why we had
question.
it
Bro,
muted. What do you
I
no.
had a
want,
question
Philly?
for
Just
Having
drop
this
Philly.
his
nigga hand
ass.
up
Hey,
is
are y'all
crazy.
gonna do? Hey, are y'all gonna do like a all AFC and all
Why?
NFC for last
Why?
year too?
Why?
I'm just
Why?
No,
asking.
We don't know
no, we're
about
not.
that.
Leave us
Yeah,
alone, please.
we
I
don't
don't
know
think
about
we're
all
doing
that.
that. We don't know about all that, brother.
We got state of division coming up, my
We
boy.
got the state of divisions coming right
Oh
up
yeah, I
after
forgot
these
we do
lists.
that. That's a good
Right
point.
after that is the state of the divisions.
Yep. So
That's
two
when we
more
get
weeks.
real. That's when we get
Plus,
real in
y'all need.
depth with the
Hey,
ball
Hey,
talk and all the
and you
trash
couldn't drop
talk.
me because y'all need DI in here. So, white man,
What?
y'all have a great one.
You said what?
What?
He said we need the DEI. Man, drop that white boy.
Is he really white?
No.
No, he's not white, nigga.
He black like you.
I don't give a fuck. I just play along. I don't care. It's funny to me.
I got a request
Oh hell.
What,
from
DG?
from from now on. Never call that man Ant Man anymore. He's Can't Man for the
Can't
rest of
man is
the
crazy.
rest of the summer. Can't Man.
Hey, I agree with you, DG. And
You
that nigga is not a
cannot
star.
bring it to the
That
plate.
nigga is not a star. That nigga is not
I'm
Michael
not a
Jordan.
star.
That nigga is none of
Face
Somebody
of
that.
the league.
lied.
Face of the league. My ass.
That's why he played
And
center. He don't want.
I like Anthony. You know how I do when a nigga suck. I'm gonna call him by his real name. I like Anthony.
Anthony is crazy.
Anthony is disgusting. That's
Tell him,
disgusting.
tell him, tell him to go join Cabo with his baby mama.
That's crazy. He don't eat like her for real.
Hey, look, that man couldn't show up on or off the court. That's crazy. Um,
Wow.
Deadbeat.
So we're either gonna be doing a north or a south
We got
division.
two ghettos left.
Yep.
Oh, it's about to
That's
get
that.
real ghetto.
Oh my god, the AFC North is gonna be
Bro,
super ghetto.
why is
That's
Philly
just
still up here?
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah, I ain't
sure.
gonna lie, Philly.
Be
Uh,
okay.
quiet. This
Drop
is not
him.
your time.
don't worry, I removed him. Sorry, Philly.
that's right.
You
Damn.
don't like
Yeah,
doing that.
we got one more up here. Y'all gotta
I
remove it. Y'all
appreciate you
gotta
though, brother.
remove
That's, you know
anything.
what
They
I'm
did
saying.
you
I
dirty.
appreciate you though, brother. You
You
know what
gotta
I'm saying.
drop Vinny
Yeah,
too,
you
bro.
gotta
Yeah,
drop
Vinny,
anything.
everybody get dropped too. White
Damn,
boy,
all
you
right.
dropped
Damn,
You
Hollywood.
no, you
too.
lied
Damn.
on
You gotta drop
yourself.
Vinny.
Listen, you listen yourself. What the hell?
Implicated. You should have stayed on mute. You forgot you was even up here.
That's crazy.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm excited to do the state of because that's when that's when all the trash talk and all that come out.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like it's two ghetto sides left. Can we just like
Oh yeah, the ghetto
do
is
like
coming. It is
can we do
coming.
Let's just do a coin flip.
Oh, what ghetto division we gonna do
I'll
Which
first?
I'll
ghetto
spin
we going to first?
no, I'll
Yeah,
spin it
yeah.
right
Which
now.
hood we going to first? Because you got.
All right, let's
Wait,
spin it.
I'll spin it right now.
All right, let's spin it right now.
All right, that's cool. Okay.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Wait, let me take off the West.
Yeah.
How the hell are you able to see? Are people in playback able to see this?
No.
Oh damn! I thought they
Cause
was
fuck
getting.
them. That's why.
I
Oh
thought they was
my
getting a
fault.
little treat. I ain't gonna hold you. My bad, playback people.
Spinning.
Oh man, which hood we going to
Miss
first?
Jana, now you know we about to close.
Yeah, you ain't getting no mic, Auntie. So
Hey,
I
listen,
love
like
you though. I
we
love you though.
finna go to the north side.
Oh, we going to the
The
north
Oh,
north side.
side. Oh
all right.
I ain't
man.
gonna lie, I really think we should do like I know we did like North and North, South and South. I think we should do, since we're doing
Hell
the
no.
North.
No.
You don't even know what I'm about to say.
All right, go ahead.
Then you should do the AFC South with the NFC North.
Of course, I knew you was gonna say that. North and South. Come on, what
Yeah,
else
you
was you
should.
gonna
You
say?
should. You should. I mean, well, let me get it out first. Thank you. Um,
So why can't we
we'll
do the
talk about it.
AFC North with the NFC South?
We can do
Hell
that. We
no.
can do that. You can do the. You can do the.
No.
Listen, you can do the NFC North and the AFC South, and then the
No, dog.
NFC South with the NFC North. AFC
That
That
would
North.
be
y'all is
fire.
too ghetto
I know
at
you're
one
not talking
time.
Miss East.
We from the
Nah, that
hood.
joke
We
too
from
ghetto at
the
one time.
hood.
Come on, y'all. Be honest. Be honest
No,
now.
it's only ghetto when you let the ratchets in. Like, come on, Falcons fans,
I
y'all
mean,
can't
what
let them
what
up
what, what
here.
you want us to do? I mean, you know the Falcons fans gonna come up
I
here.
don't
You
know
know they gonna come up
why.
here.
Like,
You know they gonna come up here. And then when we do the AFC North,
I ain't gonna lie, my team.
you say
Ain't
Lamar
nobody saying nothing
Jackson
about that
is gonna
raggedy
get
ass
spooky.
AFC South.
Bro, we really whooping these niggas ass.
I ain't gonna lie, my team in the AFC South. I don't even know why I'm thinking about the NFC South.
Damn.
Damn, girl. I thought your team was in the NFC East.
It really is. Like, you know what I'm
Damn.
saying? I'm all over the world. La la.
Oh my god.
Yo,
This is sad.
Oh my
She the
god.
Miss Jane of the NFL, and I can't
Okay,
take
now
it.
hold on. You gonna respect me? Hello? No offense, Miss Gina. You gonna put some respect on my name?
She the NBA Miss Jane of the NFL. That's crazy.
No,
that's
that's just.
crazy.
I ain't gonna lie. That's all right.
Well,
F.
we'll figure it out, but we for sure are doing the
Write it
AFC.
down.
AFC North. Oh my god. This list gonna burn. See this body. This. Oh my
This
god.
list is actually not that hard.
Hey, Lamar Jackson ain't making it. Just I ain't gonna put that
Hey,
out
I'm
there right
cool
now.
with that. You hear me?
He do not
Listen.
speak for the whole of Sports After Dog. He
Yeah.
will.
I
He ain't
speak.
gonna make
I
Lou
speak for
list.
me. Yeah, yeah.
But we're definitely doing AFC North.
Hey,
We will
listen.
come back with y'all with the
He
second
was terrible
division.
on Power. He can go to hell.
He ain't even gonna be honorable mention.
That's
Make
crazy.
sure that
Damn.
y'all get y'all list together. So next week you at least have your AFC North list. We don't want y'all getting up here. Oh, let me drop back down to the listeners. I ain't got my list. Go, nah, you going to hell
I mean, if
And
y'all
if you
remember,
don't
want,
have your list.
remember,
Have your list.
minimum 12 games. Don't be putting nobody on
Yes.
that list that ain't played 12 games or more.
And they ain't played 12
I mean, if
games,
y'all
man.
really just like post it up under the original post, you wouldn't even have to go
Man,
and
niggas
make a
still ain't
list.
gonna read Hollywood.
No, no, no. I'm
Yeah,
saying you don't
they
even
really
have to
don't.
drop down and go make a list because you got it right there. Like,
But this is the crazy part, Hollywood. We put it in all caps on what they should do, and
you
people
know,
still
niggas don't
don't
read.
do
You know
it.
what I'm saying? We don't do
Nah,
that.
y'all know
Still
our
don't do it.
Sports After family don't be paying attention. You
That's
know
that
I
that
love
public
them to
now.
school
death. I love them.
education.
I love them. But it's like.
All right,
Oh,
So
y'all.
listen,
and
I
Well,
ain't gonna lie.
you gotta have that list ready, man.